On that day, countless monsters that exist in legends started to pour in, and secret realms began to appear. It was a disaster. But during this disaster, mankind gained an opportunity. People started to awaken. Lucky individuals with strong qualifications could awaken into various professions. They could also kill monsters and explore secret realms to obtain resources and become stronger. These people are called professionals. Today is the day when students awaken their talents. Teacher Liu, the one who held the awakening ceremony, called a student named Lin Lu to come up on the stage. Lin Lu walked toward the stage with excitement and confidence. He's our main protagonist, a man who is not from this world, and he claims that he's obviously the most special existence among all students. As he walked toward the stage, he was already expecting that the people around him would be envious of what he could awaken. After being an ordinary person for so long, it was now the time for him to rise to the highest point and start a new life. He then held the awakening ball, and a bright light appeared, making it impossible for everyone to see him due to the blinding light. The students expected that he would awaken a combat profession. Some students felt jealous as they never expected Lin Lu, who was normally quiet, to awaken such a powerful job. The light disappeared after a minute. Lin Lu was staring above, assuming that this would be the most important step for him. The system window then appeared, but he was confused when it turned out that his profession was just a D-rank priest. Congratulations to Lin Lu for his successful awakening as a support profession, the priest rank D teacher Liu stated. Lin Lu walked away and heard the students saying that a priest profession is a healing profession that heals wounds, cures diseases, and gets rid of abnormal conditions. Some mentioned that only girls could awaken this profession and never thought that they would have one in Lin Lu. Lin Lu then heard the students call on the male nurse, but he didn't respond since he was also disappointed. Some male students approached him, telling him not to be depressed since the priest's profession is better than getting some cooking or sweeping profession. Besides, most people don't even have any profession, and extra professions like this are hard to find. What's more, the nurse is the main protector of the whole team, one guy added. His other friend tapped Lin Lu's shoulder and called him Nurse Lin, asking him to show his power to them. You want to test my patience, don't you? Wait for the moment when you need my help. I'll bleed you guys to death, Lin Lu replied angrily to the three guys. The three guys shivered in fear and proclaimed that they could not offend a priest since a priest is the lifesaver and supposed to be an extra life. Glad you understand, and throw away that nickname male nurse. Call me daddy, that sounds better, Lin Lu said. The professional ranks are S, A, B, C, and D, with D rank being the weakest. On top of that, Lin Lu is a support class player. Lin Lu was so down that he dreamed about soaring in the sky, but ended up helping others soar in the sky. Another man then approached him, telling him not to lose heart. Don't worry, let's form a team to level up together, the guy added. He's Tang Cheng, Lin Lu's best friend, AC rank knight. You and me, one is blood and the other is meat. We'll be sandbags for monsters at best, Lin Lu added. At this time, another strong light emerged on the stage, making both Tang Cheng and Lin Lu almost blinded. They wondered who it was, and when the light slowly vanished, they found out that it was from a lady. It turned out to be Yu Aining, who successfully awakened as a professional snow princess, surprisingly in a rank. The other students were envious of her, knowing that she was the school's most beautiful girl and now also awakened in a rank profession. While Yining was still on the stage, Lin Lu stared at her, amazed at the lady. That's amazing, Yining. With this kind of profession, you can choose any college from all over the country, teacher Liu said. Yining then gave thanks, and the awakening of the remaining students continued. While the awakening was still ongoing, Lin Lu decided to open his system window and check his attribute panel to take a look at his skills. Then he got confused when he saw a skill called Skin Explosion. He didn't know what skill this was, but the system said it was a mutated skill that could make the target's skin burst instantly, ignore 50% of the target's defense, and cause severe pain and bleeding damage. Looking at the skills, Lin Lu felt it was similar to a healing skill, but the effect was the complete opposite. If healing skills can heal wounds and eliminate pain, then he believed this explosion skill created wounds and even added salt to the wounds. No matter how he looked at it, he was sure it didn't look like a priest's skill. Currently, his level was low, and without skill points, new skills could not be upgraded. But right now, he was wondering what the upgrade of Skin Explosion would be. He suddenly flinched when he realized that his original basic skill might be healing, and it mutated into a Skin Explosion, which meant he could create his own mutated skills. He then grabbed his phone, believing that this skill was worth trying. Tang Cheng then suddenly asked him what he was doing, and he replied that he was buying a skill book. Tang Cheng then stated that he almost forgot that Lin Lu is still an invincible rich second generation. He remembered Lin Lu's mother was a navigator by profession and asked if his mom had come back recently, knowing that Lin Lu's mom had been away for years. Lin Louisiana then said no and told him that he had just had a conversation with his mother 3 months ago. He believed that his mother should be on the other side of the sea now, and she informed him that after this trip she could rest for a month. Meanwhile, teacher Liu declared that career awakening was over. She then permitted everyone to go home and congratulated those who had awakened to the combat class. The students then stood and Lin Lu immediately rushed back home, leaving Tang Cheng without any words. Tang Cheng called him, asking why he was in a hurry, and Lin Lu replied that he had an urgent matter, He had placed an order for 2 new skills and was excited to go home and try them, looking forward to what he could mutate them into. Yining and Tang Cheng stared at him leaving, worried that Lin Lu must feel uncomfortable after awakening the priest class. After a few minutes, Lin Lu arrived at his house and the delivery truck also came. Lin Lu received it and sat on the couch, preparing to try the skills. He had bought blood recovery and pain calmness. He immediately learned them, and surprisingly it happened instantly. The skills were called blood fever and pain intensification. Blood fever was a mutated skill that instantly increased the blood temperature of the target's body by 2 to 5 degrees, causing massive internal injuries and applying negative effects like coma, nausea, and sluggishness. Pain intensification was a mutated skill that could double the pain suffered by the target. Lin Louisiana was so excited, wondering what would happen if he combined the pain intensification skill with his skin explosion skill. He never expected that he could really have the ability to mutate his skills, and with this unique ability, he believed nobody could dare to treat him like a male nurse. His phone suddenly vibrated. It was a notification that he had been added to the group chat of the pre-exam practice group, a group made by teacher Li Yu. As he checked the group chat, he found out that Yining and Tang Cheng were included. He concluded that it was a way to bring in people who awaken the combat profession. Teacher Li Yu told them to note that they had 10 days of rest, and after 10 days they would go to the trial tower to take the exam. During these 10 days, the school would organize all combat professionals to go out for training, and the faculty hoped that everyone would actively participate and strive to raise their levels to the highest possible before the exam. Upon knowing this, Lin Lu got excited to show everyone who was the strongest among them. He imagined using his skills and defeating many people. The next day, 2 ladies were walking in the court. One of them was Yining. Her friend noticed that she was sad and believed she was worried about Lin Lu's, but Yining denied it. Still, her friend could see it clearly in her eyes. Her friend then told her that things were different now Yining had awakened in a ranked profession, and after graduation, she could enter any college across the country. Lin Lu's, however, could not. Her friend pointed out that the distance between her and Lin Lu's would only grow further. She encouraged Yining to express her feelings as soon as possible, but Yining was hesitant. At that moment, a man approached them, saying that he had heard Yining had awakened in a ranked profession. He then asked which college she was planning to enter. He was Yang Hao Ran, a magic swordsman from Class 1, who had been pursuing Yining for a long time. Now that he had also awakened in a ranked profession, most students said they were a good match. But everything still depended on Yining. Yang Hao Ran, my name is Lin Yining. Call me by my full name, Yining said, since Hao Ran only called her by her first name. Her friend was staring at her, wanting her to refuse Hao Ran directly without giving him any face. Yining walked away, pulling her friend's hand, and told Hao Ran that the college she would enter was up to her and had nothing to do with him. Hao Ran was annoyed, believing she was pretending to be noble. He was also aware that Yining secretly had a crush on Lin Lu's. Since Lin Lu's had only awakened as a D-rank priest, Hao Ran believed he still had a chance. But since Yining didn't give him any face, he decided to be merciless with her. Meanwhile, Lin Lu's went to the Demon Rat Plains. This area was located in the northwest of the demonized town and had a large number of cunning demonized giant rats. The monsters were generally low level, making them suitable for novice professionals to level up. Recommended levels were between 1 and 20. As Lin Lu's arrived, there were already people in the area. Luckily for him, these low-level monsters were close to his home, and it was convenient to travel. He was planning to use this place to try his mutated skills. A level 5 or above 5-person elite team was required to clear the demonic rat plains. Warriors, knights, druids, and other professionals resistant to physical damage were given priority. In addition, exclusive equipment was also given priority. The people in the area were busy searching for companions, but Lin Lu's wasn't bothered at all. While walking, a lady with red hair approached him, telling him that he looked the same age as her niece. Are you a student who just awakened his profession? It's really dangerous here. Do you want to team up? This sister will protect you, the lady added. But Lin Lu's walked away, thanked her for her offer, and informed her that he wanted to hunt alone. When he was already away, a man approached the lady, calling her sister Qing. The man asked who that kid was, and she replied that she had just met him in this place. She stated that she found the kid, Lin Lu's, interesting and wanted to protect him. But Lin Lu's didn't appreciate it. The kid who doesn't know how high the sky is. There are so many dead rookies in the Demon Rat Plains. What's so interesting about this kid, the man said. And as per the lady, newly awakened newcomers were generally very excited and expressive when they went out for their first hunt. But in the eyes of Lin Lu's, there was only calmness. For her, it showed that Lin Lu's not only had confidence but also could keep his composure, which was rare. However, it's just a small gimmick. Xiaoyi has found out the coordinates of that special monster. We'll make a huge profit from this trip. Let's go, don't let anyone overtake us, the lady added while walking in the other direction. When Lin Lu's reached the monster area, he saw people struggling to fight the demon rats since they had a very high attack rate. Lin Lu's was hiding in a tree while staring at the rat near him. The demonized rat was a level 2 demon race with 11 points of power, 12 points of physical power, 16 points of agility, 12 points of spirit, and 200 health points. Their skills were Bite, Bloodthirsty, and Virus Spread. Creatures affected by demonic energy became very bloodthirsty and cruel. Once the number exceeded 1,000, they could form a terrifying rat tide. Although it was only a monster for beginners, Lin Luz was aware that its attribute value was twice as high as those of ordinary professionals. That was surely the reason why everyone formed teams before coming to this area. At this time, Lin Luz tried his first skill, Skin Explosion, creating a strong explosion that killed the rat instantly. After eliminating it, he was informed that he had gained an additional 60 experience points. Lin Luz was speechless. He never expected that his mutated skill was so strong. It was supposed to be difficult for an ordinary combat professional to kill these kinds of rats, but he, a priest, actually killed it in seconds. He immediately tried it again, using his blood fever. The rat was unable to resist, vomited blood, and then died instantly. Lin Luz gained another 60 experience points. He noticed that blood fever wasn't as fast as Skin Explosion, but it was still powerful since the rat lost blood continuously. After he killed it, he instantly leveled up and confirmed that hunting alone was much better. He had reached level 1, his skill points increased by 1, and he gained 4 attribute points. For him, getting 4 attribute points was okay for a hidden profession, and he aimed to get more while leveling up. After all, he was just a D-rank priest. For support class professions, casting speed and the effects of skills were connected with intelligence, so he used all his points in intelligence. The first 2 skills had good effects, so now he was planning to kill another rat using his last skill. He attacked one rat with his pain intensification. A purple smoke surrounded the rat, but nothing happened. Lin Luz was confused. The rat suddenly charged at him, and he realized that the pain intensification spell doubled the target's pain. It turned out to be painful but didn't have a damaging effect. The rat jumped toward him, and he eliminated it using his Skin Explosion. They can't withstand Skin Explosion, so there's no need to increase pain. Looks like I'll have to try it on the boss monsters, Lin Luz uttered. After a few days, Lin Luz was able to kill level 10 rat demons and gain lots of experience points. Every time he killed level 10 rats, he received 880 experience points each. He also reached level 10, and his skill points increased by 1 each. Plus, he gained 4 attribute points and 1 skill point. He also unlocked a new skill. Lin Luz was enjoying solo hunting since he reached level 10 in just 6 days, which was unusual. With the skill points he had, he finally unlocked a new skill. He only had 1 skill point but had 2 options. First, the influenza virus technique, a mutation skill that could be learned at level 10, causing the target to enter a severe influenza state and causing all symptoms to break out in a very short period. The second option was diarrhea, a mutated skill that could be learned at level 10, which could cause the target infection with bacteria, viruses, and parasites. To acquire skills from the skill tree, a hunter must have a consistent level. It wasn't as convenient as learning from skill books. Moreover, there were not many ways to obtain skill points, except for one given every 10 levels. They could only rely on killing the boss, exploring secret realms, and obtaining some heaven and earthly treasures. At this moment, Lin Luz was curious about the skill options, but since he was a priest, he decided to pick the diarrhea skill. After he picked the skill, he heard a rat squeaking and charging at him. At this time, it was a demonized giant rat leader, a level 15 demon race with 41 points of strength, 38 points of physique, 53 points of speed, 29 points of spirit, and 2,500 health points. Its skills were Bite, Bloodthirsty, Virus Transmission, and Summoning Rat Swarms. The demonized giant rat leader, who was affected by demonic energy, was the strongest existence among the demonized giant rats in the area. Lin Luz concluded that he had become the target of this boss monster since he had killed a lot of monsters in the past few days. The rat tried to attack him using its claw, but he was able to cut its hand using his Skin Explosion. The rat leader was squeaking in pain. Lin Luz confirmed that Skin Explosion was a skill that ignored defense. He then attacked the rat leader with the same skill, combined with blood fever and pain intensification. The rat leader was in so much pain. Lin Luz believed that at least 10 level 10 ordinary professionals were needed to deal with it, but it seemed like he could defeat it with his powerful mutated skills. While he was attacking the rat leader, there were people looking at him, laughing, saying that the giant rat leader was really weak. "I told you to keep walking, and you'll find a good one," the guys said, which was overheard by Lin Luz. Lin Luz looked at them, and the shortest guy told him that all the monsters in this area belonged to their Sea Star Guild. He warned Lin Luz to leave the area if he didn't want to be beaten. Lin Luz chuckled and said, "Really?" In the end, Lin Luz let the men fight against the rat leader. He was leaning against a tree, watching the men struggle to defeat the rat leader, even when they attacked it together. "Boss, I'm more worried about that kid than the monster. He gave up too easily. I don't think he has any good intentions," the bald man said. Lin Luz was aware that these guys were talking about him, so he looked at them and flashed a peace sign. "Unless he wants to die, no one plays tricks on our guild. The next attack is coming. Prepare yourselves," their boss said. But then the curly man's stomach growled, and he complained of pain. He screamed that he could no longer hold his poop. His pants split and his poop splattered everywhere. His companions were disgusted and complained about the bad smell. "It smells so bad, it's more dangerous than a poison bomb," the leader proclaimed. The rat was trying to attack him, and he was having a hard time concentrating. Lin Luz was chuckling. He removed one earbud and said, "It seems everyone is having a good time." It turned out that he had activated his diarrhea skill, causing the curly guy to poop. The leader of the men dropped to the ground as he was also in pain and felt like his poop would burst out. Lin Lu then walked toward them and activated his pain intensification combined with his skin explosion. With these skills, he was able to kill everyone, including the rat leader. For eliminating the rat, he gained 16,700 experience points and reached level 11. All of his attribute values increased by 1, and he obtained 4 attribute points. Surprisingly, he also got equipment and a skill book. He got the giant rat fur, fangs, and demonic rat eyes. Normally, the boss only drops materials, and the equipment drop rate is very rare, but the skill book drop rate is 1 in 1,000. He concluded that solo hunting increased the drop rate. He was holding the demonic rat eye and said, "This equipment is really good as it increases spiritual energy and recovery speed, which is exactly what I need." When he wore it, nothing changed, and he deduced that passive skills and equipment skills cannot be mutated. This giant rat's eye is a black iron piece of jewelry that adds 2 points of spirit and 1 point of agility. Its durability is 20/20, and it has a passive meditation skill. After wearing it, the user's spiritual power recovery speed increases by 5%. He then grabbed the scroll to immediately learn the skill. The skill is virus transmission. The ones who can use it are mages, priests, warlocks, and pharmacists. It can spread a virus, poisoning enemies within range, causing certain damage, and weakening their magic defense. After a minute, Lin Lu instantly learned the skill. It is called Black Death Outbreak, and a rank mutation skill. It can spread the Black Death to a target or a certain area in a short period. Users can freely control the outbreak time, and it is contagious. The skill master can eliminate the Black Death virus at any time. Lin Lu knew that the Black Death, also known as the Plague, is highly contagious and deadly. It caused one of the most horrific plagues in history, killing almost 30 million people. It can also easily rival a large forbidden spell. Of course, Lin Lu's Black Death is currently only level 1, far from being that terrifying, but he doesn't want to underestimate it. If combined with pain intensification, he believes that creating a highly lethal plague is not a big problem. Aside from this, the other materials he obtained were also good, but he decided to keep them for now in his space pocket. All of a sudden, a space crack appeared behind him and then widened. He realized it was a secret realm. He was sure that this realm was an undiscovered secret realm. This secret realm is called Scarlet Altar, a hard difficulty realm that requires levels 10 to 15, but only 10 professionals can enter. Secret realms are different from dungeons and can collapse at any time, but they contain a large number of monsters, equipment, and natural materials. The secret realm will close if someone enters it and will disappear after being cleared once. It won't open again until the people inside give up, die, or pass the trial. In addition, the rewards of the secret realm are far more precious than those of the same level of demons. So every time it appears, it causes professional riots. Dungeons in secret realms are normally divided into 4 levels: normal, hard, nightmare, and hell. The higher the difficulty, the better the reward. The level of this secret realm Lin Lu was about to enter was hard, so he concluded it was difficult for him to clear it alone. If he went back to find help, he feared someone else would take over this secret realm, so it was too risky. He held the key and decided to give it a try, whether it was a blessing or disaster. As he entered, the group of queuing, the lady who approached Lin Lu when he came to this area for the first time, passed near the secret realm. They were talking about their latest mission, but Qim noticed the secret realm. They looked towards it and thought they were the first to see it. They were excited since they could enter the secret realm because their level was already at 30. They were also aware that the price of a newly opened secret realm had already reached 3 million yuan. Cheng then corrected them that it is now 4 million yuan. Surprisingly, she told her 3 male companions to share the money they got from their past missions as long as they would leave the secret realm to her. The men were shocked upon hearing this. The tall guy then told her not to hurry, especially since they still didn't know if anyone entered it or not. Qing wasn't bothered at all. She said that she had checked around, and there were only a few novices nearby. If anyone entered, she was sure that person would surely die. My niece awakened her profession a while ago. Calculating the time, she should be around level 10. This secret realm is a gift for her, she added. Right now, Lin Lu was already inside the Scarlet Altar. He had 2 main tasks: to eliminate all monsters in the cave and destroy the Scarlet Altar. This cave was originally a sacred place for the life and worship of the orc and lizard people from another world, but it was eroded by demonic energy 100 years ago. All the lizard people living here were demonized into monsters that only knew how to kill. Once entering the secret realm, a mission will appear immediately, and once the mission is cleared, the secret realm will also be cleared. But this mission was indeed difficult for Lin Lu. The best here are called demonized lizards, a demonized creature race with 2 skills: hammer and charge. The lizard men infected by the demonic energy become very bloodthirsty and cruel, rough-skinned and fleshy, but have a natural fear of magic. Their levels are level 15, with 20 strength, 22 constitution, 1 speed, 3 spirit, and 1,800 health. The stats value and health are almost half as high as the demonized giant rat leader, so Lin Lu believes it is also just an ordinary monster. Fortunately, their intelligence is very low, plus they don't have much spirit power. While he was looking at the 2 lizards lurking around, they suddenly saw him. He immediately ran away while the 2 lizards chased him. Lin Lu then realized that these lizards have a keen sense of smell, easily discovering him. He decided to stop them, so he used his ability and attacked the two lizards using his skin explosion and diarrhea. One of the lizards was beheaded while the other one pooped. Lin Lu felt disgusted by the smell and felt like it would kill him. The cave is not very big. It is a huge cave with extremely poor ventilation. Because of this, he decided not to use the diarrhea skill anymore, believing it might kill him before it kills the monsters. He cast another skill while saying that he must use his new skill. Outside the secret realm, Shuing and her men gathered. Yining then arrived, and it turned out that the niece Qing always mentioned was Yining. Yining was carrying a glow cat cub she found in the dark forests. She proudly showed it to her aunt, saying it wasn't just a cute cat but also had healing skills. Qing agreed that the cat was really cute, but before anything else, she grabbed the cat and informed Yining that she found a very suitable secret realm for her, which would be her birthday gift. Shuing introduced the men behind her, saying that they were handpicked bodyguards from their clan who were currently at level 15. With them, she believed Yining would surely get a good harvest in the secret realm and would absolutely be safe. The guards then promised to guarantee Yining's safety with their lives. Yining accepted the gift from Qing, but she would rather gather her teammates by herself because she couldn't refuse her aunt's kindness. Yining walked toward the realm while Qing explained to her that this secret realm is newly opened. If other families see it, they won't be able to avoid disputes. Yining tried to enter, but the gate wouldn't let her in. She flew away, but luckily her aunt caught her. The men concluded that someone might already be inside the realm, which is why none of them could enter. Shuing proclaimed that the one inside was probably some ignorant rookie, but she didn't care and was willing to wait until the person inside was dead. She was annoyed by the fact that she wasn't able to try it since her level exceeded the limit, and she didn't expect someone to be inside already. Yining, at the same time, was wondering who dared to enter the secret realm, not knowing that it was Lin Lu. Back inside the realm, Lin Lu managed to kill the demonized lizard level 15 using his new skill, Black Death Outbreak. He gained 1,740 experience points, was rewarded with demonized lizard skin, and reached level 12. His attribute values increased by 1, and he gained 4 attribute points. Lin Lu was very satisfied with the result. The scary thing about Black Death is that it's so contagious, but he can control it instantly. In an open field with monsters scattered in all directions, this skill might not be as powerful because its contagiousness would be minimized. This cave is huge but almost closed, with poor ventilation and a high density of monsters, allowing it to spread quickly in a wide area. If the monsters here are infected by Black Death, he believes he can level up just by lying down. However, he can't just rush in and use his skill as there are so many lizards he could kill without even lifting a finger. He concluded that the best way is to find a pathogen, an infectious agent that could cause infection, but the average lizard has a limited range to go to, so they can't bring the virus into a wider area. Right now, the lizards were roaming around. The white lizard is called a demonized creature albino lizard, a level 15 monster with 35 strength, 38 physique, 11 speed, and 4 spirit power. It has 5,500 HP and its skills are hammer charge and durability aura. A variant of the demonized lizard, they are powerful. Their rough skin gives them strong physical defense but does not change their natural fear of magic. This albino lizard is an elite monster, and Lin Lu believes it is simply a perfect target. He then attacked it using his Black Death Outbreak. The albino lizard was instantly harmed. It looked stiff, and its minions were worried and asked what was wrong. After a few seconds, the albino lizard felt fine and commanded its minions to continue patrolling the cave. The lizards went to their main hall. Lin Lu, at the same time, waited for the virus to spread to every corner, which he believed was probably an exponential infection. While observing the lizards, he noticed that they don't have any hygienic habits, thinking it was dirt if they saw a spot. Lin Lu then lifted his staff and declared that it was now the best time to start the Black Death Outbreak. He activated it in the area where the lizards gathered, causing an explosion. The lizards were hissing in pain and were killed instantly. Lin Lu gained lots of experience points. Lin Lu was shocked when he noticed his level was increasing so rapidly. He reached level 15 in just a few minutes, confirming that a newly opened secret realm is the best place to harvest experience points. He then walked toward the lizards and found that some of the elite monsters were still alive. He also noticed one lizard standing still on the stage. It was a Crimson Lizardman Priest, Silver Lord, currently in a weak state. Its level is 20 with 25 strength, 14 speed, 48 physique, and 52 spirit power. Its current HP is 204,800. Its skills are Flame Healing, Spirit Shock, Physique Fire, Blood Entanglement, and Beast Transformation. This lizard is the leader, affected by the evil spirit, awakened a small amount of wisdom in the long evolution, and has been guarding the Dark Scarlet Altar. Lin Lu realized that this lizard isn't an elite monster but surely the boss, and he believed that this boss monster was going to use its healing skill. He immediately attacked it with the Skin Explosion skill, planning to kill it while it was still sick. He attacked it once more using the same skill combined with his Pain Intensification and Blood Fever. The boss lizard roared in agony but died instantly after a few seconds. Lin Lu was relieved that the boss died easily due to its weak state. For him, killing monsters and boss monsters one after another is really difficult. Since the boss was eliminated, he decided to immediately deal with the remaining elite monsters quickly and then destroy the altar. But then, all of a sudden, the remaining elite monsters went toward the boss monster's corpse. They ate the corpse of the boss and fused with each other. At this moment, Lin Lu had a bad feeling about it. Shockingly, after the fusion, the lizards became one and transformed into a level 21 violent mutated albino lizard priest. It has 40 strength, 49 physique, 14 speed, and 27 spirit. Its HP is 8,000, and its skills are heavy hammer charge, blood boiling, metal shock, blood entanglement, and beast transformation. Being demonized, it contains the Black Death virus. The albino lizard, with dual effects, ate the Lord's corpse in extreme anger. The evil energy and virus formed a weak balance in its body, making it even more powerful. Lin Lu was staring at the violent albino lizard, nervous, knowing this demonized creature was more dangerous than the others he had encountered. He was also worried, knowing the skills of this monster were a combination of melee and mage abilities, which should be a crime to have all of these. What's worse is that he was so exhausted he couldn't use any of his skills right now. The violent albino tried to attack him, and he immediately moved away. He then got his magic power potion to restore his power, so he could fight back. He sipped it, but the violent albino charged at him and punched him. He slammed into the ground, annoyed that the violent albino didn't give him a chance to recover at all. The violent albino activated its blood entanglement skill, and knowing that this skill was very dangerous, Lin Lu immediately ran away as fast as he could. He turned around while sipping his magic potion and attacked the violent albino using his Black Death skill. The violent albino managed to avoid it by jumping, so Lin Lu's skill hit the dead lizard lying on the ground. The violent albino tried to attack him again, but he managed to jump away while still sipping his potion. Lin Lu was surprised that the violent albino dodged his attack, but he wasn't bothered since his main target wasn't this creature. The violent albino roared while charging at him. He then attacked the surroundings using his Black Death skill. He was panting and his HP was almost at rock bottom, but his MP was full, which was what he wanted. The violent albino roared, telling Lin Lu that none of his skills could hit him, even if he drank medicine to recover. Despite not understanding the violent albino, Lin Lu responded, "If you think you have any winning chance, just take a look around first." According to him, he used his skill in Black Death, but his target was never the violent albino. It turned out that his main target was all the corpses around them. He concluded that the virus in these corpses was now extremely concentrated, and his plan was to use his mana for one skill. He was sure that something would happen if these corpses exploded, and the virus feast would follow. He then activated his skin explosion skill, saying that no matter how powerful this violent albino was, it was still nothing but a temporary mutant. The virus carried by the flesh and blood that would fall on its body was enough to completely destroy the weak balance in its body and kill it. After saying this, the violent albino exploded and was finally killed. Since Lin Lu managed to eliminate it, he gained 2 skill points, and his level increased to level 20. All of his attribute values also increased by 1, and he gained 4 attribute points and another skill point. He also obtained a Crimson Fury staff and a stainless meteor hammer. As per Lin Lu, the hammer was a useless reward, but he was satisfied with the staff as it had an additional 8 spirit points and a 15% spell critical hit chance. The steel meteor hammer, at the same time, is a bronze weapon that gives an additional 5 strengths and 3 constitutions. When a meteor hammer strikes the ground, it can cause damage to all targets within a 5-meter radius and a chance of being stunned. The skills he received are Bloodlust and Invoke Summoning. Bloodlust spends a portion of his mana on his target and increases his attack power by 10%, increases speed by 8%, and reduces blood level by 12% for 120 seconds. The Invoke Summoning skill can summon a Lizardman warrior with 80% of the user's total attribute value, and the host can control up to 9 summons. Since Lin Lu reached level 20, he could now learn new skills and use his skill points to the fullest. Right now, he chose to learn Mental Confusion and Alzheimer's techniques, both mutated skills. Mental Confusion can cause the target to become mentally disturbed for a short period and attack any surrounding targets unconsciously. The Alzheimer's technique can make the target stuck for a short period or misremember the skill they mastered, causing a magic backlash on them. Upon seeing the Alzheimer's skill, Lin Lu said that his skills were getting more and more ridiculous. He still had 1 skill point left, so he learned the influenza virus, believing it was also a good skill. After that, he picked up the stuff from the monster that he hadn't picked up yet since he could sell it for money. He then activated his Invoked Summoning skill to destroy the big crystal on the altar. After a minute of destroying it, something interesting appeared. It was a demonized rune, a special prop that gives an additional 1 point to all attributes, but takes effect when placed in the backpack. The holder can use this rune to transform into a demonized creature, but at this time, Lin Lu level wasn't enough to use it. There is still another effect of this rune, but Lin Lu level isn't enough to see it. Special runes are produced after being eroded by the breath of another world. A holder can absorb the breath and soul of alien creatures by killing them, thereby promoting the upgrade of this demonized rune. Knowing that it was an upgradable item, Lin Lu deduced that this was the biggest reward of this secret realm. After keeping it, he was then informed that he had completed the secret realm. He would be rewarded for completing all the tasks in the secret realm. He gained 100,000 experience points. His level was raised to level 24. The attribute values were fixedly increased by 4. He gained 16 attribute points and 10,000 gold coins. He also obtained a special item, which is a Resurrection Cross and Styx contract. He obtained an exclusive career transfer certificate, which is the only one, and a special title, Pioneer, plus an additional 2 skill points. Of course, Lin Lu was satisfied. He was sure he could upgrade 4 levels in a row with his 100,000 experience points, and he was also rewarded with a perfect pass. The Hidden Profession Change book can be used to trigger an exclusive Hidden Profession Change quest related to his profession, but this can only be used after level 30. Both parties can use the Styx contract special item to create a special contract. The creation of the contract will be subject to the rules of the Styx River, and the party that breaks the contract will be swallowed by the Styx River. To use the Resurrection Cross special item, Lin Lu needs to bind it with a drop of blood to gain a resurrection opportunity. Place the Resurrection Cross at the target's location, and the target will be resurrected there after death. At this time, Yi Ning, Chuing, and the guards were still in front of the secret realm. Lin Lu then came out from it with closed eyes, and the group waiting for him looked at him with curiosity. Most of the guards thought Lin Lu had failed to clear the missions and quit midway. They were surprised that only one came out from the secret realm. Qing was surprised when she realized that Lin Lu was the kid she approached before. She thought Lin Lu's team had died and felt pity for him. Lin Lu was confused while looking at her. He then looked to his side as he heard a familiar voice. He stood and walked towards Yi Ning. "Your injuries are very serious. The new secret realms are very dangerous. Where are your teammates? What if something happened to you?" Yi Ning asked with a worried face. Lin Lu then honestly informed her that he was hunting solo. "Anyway, I'll talk to you later. You guys go ahead. I have somewhere to go," he added. He was in a hurry since he was planning to take the stuff he found in the secret realm and trade it for money. Yi Ning then followed him, leaving her aunt and the guards. The guards were annoyed at Lin Lu, believing that he was bragging about hunting solo, and they were hoping that Yi Ning wouldn't be deceived by him. Qing then told them that it would be Yi Ning's own business to be friends with someone. She then ordered them to guard the entrance of the secret realm before it gets targeted. But then they noticed that the secret realm was slowly disappearing. Qing looked at Lin Lu and was dumbfounded since it was a sign that Lin Lu had cleared the secret realm alone. At this time, Yi Ning asked Lin Lu to wait for her. Lin Lu walked slowly and inquired what she needed. Yi Ning explained that the bodyguards with her were just men her aunt had arranged for her. She knew that these men didn't believe Lin Lu, but Yi Ning trusted him, as she was confident Lin Lu wouldn't lie. Lin Lu, on the other hand, said it didn't matter to him since he didn't care about those men. Yi Ning suddenly felt shy and stuttered while asking Lin Lu if she could form a team with him for the exam team competition. Each exam is divided into team and individual competitions. Teams are usually organized in groups of 3, and the results are determined based on the number of floors they manage to clear. The individual competition is essentially a one-on-one fight in the arena. Based on the result, participants can not only be selected by a good college but might also be eligible for a special award. "But I'm just a D-ranked priest, you should choose someone better," Lin Lu said. Yi Ning insisted, however, that she wanted to team up with him because it was more comfortable for her to team up with someone she knew. Lin Lu then accepted Yi Ning's offer. He wondered why the team invite sounded so weird, but since Yi Ning invited him, he felt it wouldn't be nice to refuse. Meanwhile, Lin Lu went back to his house. He had already sold all the equipment he didn't need and, combined with the gold he earned from the monsters, made a lot of money. The exchange ratio between gold coins and common currency is around 1:10, so if he redeemed all his gold, he estimated it would be worth more than 500,000 yuan. The money he made this week was more than his mother's salary for a year. He marveled at the frightening potential of being a professional. At that moment, someone entered his house. It was his best friend, Tang Cheng. Tang Cheng, panicked, asked where Lin Lu had been for the past few days. He also questioned why Lin Lu hadn't leveled up with the teacher at school and wondered if Lin Lu had lost his temper because of his profession. "Cut the BS. I didn't ask you to come over here just to curse me. These things are for you," Lin Lu said, pointing at the box on the table. Tang Cheng was shocked to see the beast sword and the armor, both bronze level, and thought Lin Lu must have robbed someone to obtain them. Lin Lu then informed him that he had gone to the Rat Plains to level up. He invited Tang Cheng to team up for the exam and try for one of the top 10 colleges. "Lin Lu, you're my real brother. How about I call you daddy from now on?" Tang Cheng kiddingly said while attempting to hug Lin Lu. Lin Lu pushed him away and joked that their family wouldn't accept him. At the same time, in Yi Ning's house, her father informed her that the Dongfang family had invited her to team up with them, but she immediately refused. Her father was furious, knowing that the Dongfang young master had awakened an S-class profession. He believed teaming up with the Dongfang young master would guarantee Yi Ning first place. Moreover, he had already made a deal with Mr. Dongfang. He then asked Yi Ning who she wanted to team up with, and he was convinced she would choose a useless partner. Yi Ning mentioned Lin Louisiana's name, proudly stating that Lin Lu was an amazing player who had cleared a secret realm all on his own. Hearing that Lin Lu had cleared a secret realm alone, Yi Ning's father assumed Lin Lu must be an S-ranked professional, or at least an S-ranked. However, Yi Ning then informed him that Lin Lu was just a D-ranked priest. Her father was furious and said she was irritating him. He stood up, but Qing calmly assured him that Yiming's statement was true, as she had witnessed it herself. Although Lin Lu appeared to be a D-ranked priest on the surface, Qing was sure he was hiding some secrets. So, Yining's choice wasn't necessarily wrong. Despite this, Yining's father refused to believe it and walked away, telling both Qing and Yining to do as they pleased. A few days later, the exam day finally arrived, taking place in the Trail Tower. A lady streamer, introducing herself as Bing Bing, informed her viewers that she would be broadcasting the exam taking place in the tower. She mentioned that more than 200 new professionals would enter the Trail Tower for assessment that day. There were 1,000 Trail Towers in the world, believed to be a gift from God to humans, and they were essential for every professional. There are 9,999 floors in the tower, and the legend has it that if someone reaches the 1,000th floor, they can break through the barrier between humans and gods and become a god instantly. Of course, this is just a legend. A new professional who can break into the 20th floor is already considered an incredible genius. Bing Bing showed her viewers the ranking of the most anticipated freshman professionals in the city. First place was Murong Xuan, who had the S-ranked profession of an angel. Next in line was the S-ranked dragon rider Dongfang, said to have hatched a flame dragon from an egg that came with his awakening. In third place was another S-ranked professional, the unparalleled sword. At this time, Lin Lu and Tang Chang were waiting for their third teammate. Tang Chang had no idea it would be Yu Aining and was worried that Lin Lu had made a poor choice, believing they might end up being sandbags for the monsters if their third teammate wasn't a damage dealer. Lin Lu reassured him not to worry and just wait. After a few minutes, Yining arrived with a smile, saying she almost didn't find them because of the crowd. She then asked Lin Lu if their team was now complete. Upon realizing that Yu Aining was their third member, Tang Chang was impressed, noting that she was the prettiest girl in the class. Lin Lu downplayed it and told his companions to get ready since the trial was about to begin. Meanwhile, Dongfang was watching them from above and disliked that Yi Aining had dared to reject him. His companion arrived with the person Dongfang wanted, Yang Heran. Dongfang knew that Heran was from Binhai and that his father, Yang Xiaoyang, was the deputy director of Binhai's No. 7 steel factory, while his mother, Liang Kaifen, was a full-time housewife. Dongfang also knew Horan had awakened as a level 1 professional magic swordsman. Horan was stunned, realizing Dongfang had thoroughly investigated his background. He wondered what Dongfang was planning and thought Dongfang might be trying to mess with him. Dongfang then informed Horan that he had been rejected and was currently short of teammates. It just so happened that Horan's profession was a perfect match for his team. For this exam, you'll be following me, Dongfang added. Heran, smiling, promised to follow Dongfang and said he could agree to this offer 1,000,000 times. He thought about his former teammates and concluded they wouldn't be able to pass the test without him. He didn't feel guilty, believing it was just bad luck for those two. By the way, I heard your school has a hidden profession named Lin Yu Dongfang, suddenly said to Heran, informing him that Yu Aining's profession was a spiritual snow princess. Upon hearing this, Dongfang said Yining had the potential to be an S-class professional, knowing that the snow princess is a dual-power profession combining wind, snow, and soul. He then stated that it was a pity Yu Aining was not thinking clearly by refusing to team up with him, showing that she was just short-sighted. Dongfang looked away, saying there was only one woman worthy of his attention, the youngest daughter of the Murong family, Murong Xuan. At this moment, Xuan was staring at Yining, noting that Yining had found two unknown guys to form a team. It was strange to her that Yu Aining hadn't chosen better partners. She decided to focus on herself instead of worrying about Yining. Her lady companion reassured her, believing that first place would surely belong to Xuan. The man on their team also promised to protect her with his life. Xuan then touched the tower and said she didn't care about the ranking. What she wanted was the world's marvelous artifact, which was the prize for the winner. Finally, the tower shone, signaling that the exam was about to begin. Everyone was told to prepare for entry. The participants were swiftly ushered into the tower. Lin Lu and his teammates entered and saw many monsters. Wow, is this the trial tower? Sure enough, as rumored, there's an independent world on each level, Tang Cheng said. The monsters immediately charged at them, causing Tang Cheng to panic. However, Lin Lu was excited, looking forward to finally showcasing his skills. Yining then transformed into her profession, the spiritual snow princess, and activated her frost attack. The monsters were covered in ice before they could strike. Yining told Lin Lu to stay back and promised to protect him. Little did she know that Lin Lu was disappointed since she had cut short his plan to show off his skills to them. After just a few minutes, the tower lights illuminated different floors, and the coordinators observed that more and more participants were reaching higher floors. The old man then stated that according to the rules, the higher the number of floors a team clears within 12 hours, the better the result. He deduced that all candidates were trying their best to make an impression. Surprisingly, there was already a team that had reached the 7th floor, which was considered incredibly fast. The teams with the highest level so far were Dongfang and Murong Xuan. What surprised them was that the third team was Yining's team. They were disappointed to see that one of Yining's teammates was merely watching from the sidelines. To them, Lin Lu appeared to be a loser for lounging around while his teammates were working hard to pass the test. They were unaware that Lin Lu didn't just want to sit and watch his teammates fight. He had informed Yining that, as a priest without healing skills, he could only provide health potions. Additionally, the monsters on this floor were not challenging enough for him to take action at that moment. Nevertheless, Yi Ning believed he was vulnerable and advised him to stay back for protection. Two observers witnessed the conversation between Yi Ning and Lin Lu. One of them remarked that Lin Lu was weak but still acting tough. The other person mentioned that he recognized Yi Ning as the daughter of the Lin family, Lin Yining. He had heard that Yi Ning was the school goddess and had awakened in a rank-hidden profession. How could that boy Lin Lu be so lucky to team up with her? I'm so envious and jealous, he added. The guy with black hair then noted that the team with Lin Lu and Yi Ning seemed to be a C-level professional team. The guy with white hair expressed concern that Yi Ning might not be able to advance further with two seemingly useless teammates. As they were talking, Qing listened and smiled slightly upon hearing the men call Lin Lu a loser. If even the guy who cleared a secret realm was considered a loser, then 99% of the candidates were likely worse than worthless. She wanted to tell Yi Ning that she could only help her so far and hoped Yi Ning would be brave enough to pursue her goals. 3 hours later, many candidates, injured, exited the tower. The earlier commentator remarked that as the number of floors increased, more candidates were injured and some were even killed. They wondered if anyone could surpass the 26th floor and break the city record. Additionally, the higher the candidates went, the stronger the monsters became. The man with black hair informed the white-haired guy that there was basically no footage after the 15th floor, as strong monsters might have destroyed the cameras. The white-haired guy replied that it was good for the individual competitions as it prevented some candidates' trump cards from being revealed. They then laughed, noting that Yi Ning's team had fallen out of the top 30, from being ranked number 3. They had expected this due to Yi Ning's apparently useless companions, though they were surprised Yi Ning had lasted this long. Meanwhile, Yi Ning was growing weaker after fighting for 3 hours. Annoyed, she said, "I might be at my limit. You're really amazing. Other teams work together, but we're basically relying on you to lead us." Reaching the 19th floor is already terrifyingly powerful, Tang Cheng said. "Yi Ning, Tang Cheng, change your positions. I'll take the lead," Lin Lu suddenly said. Tang Cheng was hesitant, saying that Yi Ning was their leader. "What are you thinking?" Tang Cheng asked. Lin Lu, who had cleared a secret realm alone, was clearly a stronger candidate. Tang Cheng should check Lin Lu info panel. It would reveal his level in team mode, Yi Ning suggested. Tang Cheng immediately checked and was shocked to see that Lin Lu's level was currently at 26, which would break the record of all the candidates. He couldn't believe that Yi Ning, their leader, was only at level 18, while he was at level 13. He then asked Lin Lu if he had really cleared the secret realm alone. Lin Lu then asked where he thought he got the equipment he provided last time. He instructed Yi Ning to bring the monsters back to normal. Yi Ning agreed but wanted to know why. "If we release these monsters, what do you think they would do?" Lin Lu asked. Yi Ning replied that most monsters lived in packs, so if they realized they were outmatched, they would retreat to get reinforcements. She then asked Lin Lu if that was his plan. Lin Lu confirmed she was right and commanded Yi Ning to unfreeze the monsters and get ready to level up. Since Yi Ning was curious about how Lin Lu had cleared the secret realm alone, she agreed to release the monsters. She then unfreezed one monster, causing the monsters to panic and run away. As Lin Lu looked around, he saw released monsters charging at them. What's going on? Could they have gotten help that fast? Lin Lu wondered. Yi Ning and Tang Cheng started fighting the monsters, and Yi Ning wondered where these additional monsters had come from, since they had cleared the surrounding area of all monsters. Tang Cheng concluded that this pack of monsters had suddenly appeared, which shouldn't have happened. While fighting, Lin Lu noticed people behind them and concluded that these 3 men had intentionally brought the monsters to slow them down. At this moment, Yi Ning believed it was too late to defend. One monster was about to attack her but was suddenly struck. Yi Ning looked at Lin Lu, thinking it might be him since the skill used was unfamiliar. It turned out that Lin Lu had activated his invoked summoning numerous lizards. He then said he was hoping for a smooth upgrade but didn't think he could achieve it. The monsters charged at them, and Lin Lu commanded the lizards to charge and fight back. "Damn, Brother Lu, you actually have a skill like that. Is it monster summoning or pet summoning?" Tang Cheng asked. Yi Ning also stated that the skill appeared to be equipment-related and found it impressive. The 3 unknown men observed Lin Lu's activated skill and were also impressed. They remarked that Yi Ning's team was too powerful and realized that their plan to use monsters to reduce competitors had been thwarted. They noticed more packs of monsters running toward Yi Ning's team and concluded that with these 100 monsters, Yi Ning's team would surely die if they didn't flee. "This floor is as far as we go. Stop looking, we have to hurry up and find the entrance to the next floor," the leader of the 3 unknown men said. Meanwhile, the number of monsters had increased dramatically. Tang Cheng panicked and asked Lin Lu what they should do, fearing that the monster who had fled earlier had brought reinforcements. At this critical moment, Lin Lu gripped his staff, saying it was time to act. He activated his Black Death outbreak, causing harm to all surrounding monsters. Their team defeated level 20 bear goblins and gained 2,765 experience points for each goblin. Yi Ning and Tang Cheng were thrilled and surprised by the experience they received. "It's just as Brother Louisiana said, sit back and wait for the level up," Tang Cheng uttered. Lin Lu then said it wasn't enough. He wanted this floor to be covered with death. He cast another attack, and the sky darkened. Tang Cheng and Yi Ning looked up. Above, their team killed more goblins, which meant they received more experience points. Tang Cheng was shocked by the continuously surging experience points. He also couldn't believe that Lin Lu had a wide-range poison skill. Yining disagreed with Tang Cheng and said that this thing is definitely contagious. She explained that goblins often hunt poisonous monsters and are highly resistant to poison, so she concluded that the skill Lin Lu used couldn't be just poison. Yining is indeed smart. This is not a poison but a disease skill, Lin Lu said. According to him, his skill can plant a virus on the target and infect its cells within a short period of time. And yes, this virus was contagious. It's not an exaggeration to say that there are now billions of viruses in every goblin. With so many infected goblins, the number of viruses nearby at this point can no longer be counted in billions or trillions. A quantity change leads to a quality change, and this dense cloud of virus can surround the whole floor of the tower. Damn it, Brother Lu, don't scare me. All these viruses could eat me alive, Tang Cheng said. Lin Lu then told him not to worry since he was controlling the virus. But he said it was different for some of the people who weren't with him. While saying this, he was casting the virus skill on the men who dared to make them fail. The three men were unaware and thought it was Yining's turn to die together. Their leader then told them to stop talking and just hurry and leave the floor. He also informed his members that he had figured out the location of the entrance to the next floor and estimated that they would be there in 10 minutes. They looked above and noticed a shadow. They stopped running, wondering what was happening. They saw a giant cloud heading toward them, then suddenly felt weak and dizzy. They were coughing and realized it seemed to be a poison because of the virus. The three of them couldn't breathe. They felt severe headaches and knew they would die if they continued with the examination, so they immediately left the trial tower. Outside the tower, there were 4 people also waiting for the result. They were wondering how many floors the kids could reach at the most. According to the bald old man, the city's highest record in previous years was 26 floors, but he knew this time would be different since there were 4 S-level career candidates with quality far higher than before. He guessed that the highest floor this time would be the 28th floor. The old man beside him then added that in recent years, monsters in caves, a sea of stars, and other places outside the territory have become increasingly violent. The bald old man then replied that he heard a legendary senior also died there and hoped that the new generation could grow up quickly. The man in the red suit stated that Binhai City aims to inspire the new generations by giving the world rare objects as a reward for winning the first prize. It's not that exaggerated. That rare object has been damaged, so it's of no use to the higher level professions. It's a good way to train new professionals, and it's a good use of the money, the man beside him replied. The bald old man suddenly told them to stop talking and look above. It turned out that he sensed something was wrong with the Tower of Trial since there seemed to be a large amount of poisonous fog appearing on the 19th floor. The 3 men earlier then landed outside the tower and said they were poisoned. The coordinators panicked and thought that the monsters from the 26th floor escaped to the 19th floor. But then the researcher realized that it looked like a disease rather than a poison. He was checking his interface and said that the status bar also showed the status of serious illness of the 3 men and found out that they were infected by a virus. The old man then checked and confirmed it was a virus infection. Upon seeing the spots, he was sure it was probably the death black virus. I'm afraid there's a plague on the 19th floor, but the boss that can spread it is on the 50th floor. Could it be his doing? What's actually going on there? The old man added. The affected guy then said that he saw a poisonous cloud, which was very big, and started having severe headaches and chest tightness. He also informed the people around that there were no dangerous monsters, but rather the monsters were dying in numbers. Regardless of the reason, the old man thought it was still fortunate that the scope of the plague's impact was limited and many candidates had already reached the 20th floor or above, especially those with S-rank professions who had rushed to the 26th floor. A blessing in disguise, currently Dongfang and his team are on the 26th floor, but they weren't affected by the poison since Dongfang was perfectly prepared. His members were so impressed and believed that poisonous monsters wouldn't even come near them. With the intelligence network of my Dongfang family, I will naturally be fully prepared for the monsters on each level. The 26th floor is nothing. My goal is to break through the 28th floor, Dongfang proudly said. As expected of young Master Dongfang, you are indeed courageous. It is my honor to team up with you. If my guess is correct, our team should be the only ones arriving on the 26th floor right now, Hao Ran said. But then Dongfang told him not to underestimate other candidates, as he believed there must be someone on the same level as them, such as Mirong Xuan, but he was confident that was as far as Xuan would go. Right now, Xuan's team fights against monsters on the same floor. The male on her team casts a holy shield and the monsters tried to break it. Damn, the number of these monsters is too exaggerated. It's like they're specifically targeting us. It's impossible to kill them all. What are we going to do, the guy said. The other lady also said she's now exhausted and apologized to Xuan, knowing that she can't hold the fight any longer. It doesn't matter. Thanks to Sister Mei, I can preserve my strength to the maximum extent. Next, I will be the main dealer, Xuan replied. Mei said there was something else she had to apologize for. In fact, she had already sworn Xuan's bodies with the honey of the jade bees, which is the favorite of poisonous monsters. She added that there will only be more and more monsters in the future, and even Xuan can't survive it. The guy in their team was mad at Mei upon hearing her confession, but Xuan was calm, asking Mei why she did it. Because of jealousy. Why are you, Mirong Xuan, born with good skin, and you also awaken the S-level profession, and all outstanding men surround you? You're taking advantage of all the good things in the world, Mei replied. She added that Dongfang was the only one who appreciated her and promised that, as long as she helped him win the championship, he would marry her in the Dongfang family. She then begged Zhuin to sacrifice herself for the sake of their sister's heirs. Zhuin then told her that Dongfang only deceived her to use her to win this examination, but Mei wouldn't believe it. She was sure that Dongfang was sincere with her and wanted to introduce her to the elders in his family. She believes that Zhuin is now jealous of her. Zhuin, I've never won anything against you, so at least for a man, I'm going to win. The man in their team then suddenly asked Zhuin what they should do now, knowing that Mei intended to betray them. Zhuin then said there was no need to break through this floor. After all, it was good for her to qualify for tomorrow's individual competition. When I do, I will take the throne back from Dongfang, she proclaimed. At this time, Lin Louisiana's team finally reached the 20th floor entrance. While entering, Tang Cheng said that it was easy being together with Lin Lu, since they were able to clear all the monsters on the way, and their experience points went up quite a lot. It's too early to be happy. You still have a lot of work to do later. I don't know how long it'll take for the monsters on this floor to refresh. Let's just go directly to the next level, Lin Lu replied. Tang Cheng then said that he would listen to Lin Lu and go together to the highest floor with fun. Although Lin Louisiana skills are a great way to kill monsters, there must be a limit to it. Is it something to do with magic power, right? And on the lower floors, the monsters are of low level and don't have high magic defense, so they can be easily infected. But it's not the same on the higher floors, Yinai Ning said. Lin Lu then said she was right, but the limitations were more than what she concluded. For him, it's only useful in secret realms and dungeons where monsters are gathered together in a large space. Outside, with good air circulation, his skills are not very useful. Yi Ning then added that since this skill spreads in such a wide range when killing monsters, other candidates will also be affected. The guys from before were able to get out of the tower and heal before they died, but she was sure that it was going to affect their results. Tang Cheng then told her that they couldn't just let other people target them and blame them. It's not that I mean. By doing so, we may offend many of the candidates, Yi Ning replied. Offend? In this world of great strife, if you don't fight, you will perish. Professionals have heavy responsibilities, and their paths are inherently dangerous. If you can't even stand this kind of setback, how can you compete with monsters and aliens? Lin Lu stated and headed to the portal. Tang Cheng agreed with him and stated that if people have any evil intention of taking revenge on Lin Lu, he will be the first one to stand in their way. The same as Yi Ning, she promised to definitely stand by the side of Lin Lu. As they entered the 20th floor, they instantly saw the monsters and immediately attacked them with stones. The monsters were still alive, but Tang Cheng called their attention. Come on, the one who threw those stones, are you angry? Then come and attack, Tang Cheng confidently said. The pack of monsters then ran toward him, and he was so scared while running away since his intention was just to lure them. He then reached Lin Lu and informed him that he could now release the virus since he already attracted the monsters. He was also afraid, saying that he almost got swallowed alive. With your equipment, if a monster swallows you, he might be constipated, Lin Lu replied. One monster jumped toward Lin Lu, and someone then slashed it. It was Yi Ning. The monster was cut in half, and Yi Ning then proclaimed that no one could harm Lin Lu. Hundreds of monsters gathered in front of them with killing intent. Lin Lu then declared that they should now start. He cast his Black Death outbreak and attacked the monsters. At the same time, outside the tower, the people were noisy since Dongfang and his team reached the 27th floor, which means they broke the record. One coordinator was sad that Shuin's team didn't make it far. But for the guy wearing a red suit, Shuin's strength is more than anything else. So he concluded that there might be an accident that happened inside the tower. The man in front of him laughed and replied, "Things are unpredictable, and life cannot always sail smoothly. It's just a setback. If you can't survive even this, how can Mirong Zhuin grow up to become the genius of our human race? Not to mention Mirong Zhuin. Among those who were suppressed by Dongfang, there may be real geniuses in the future," the old man in front said. The bald old man then mentioned the dragon priest, Master Lija, a commoner who was attacked many times because of jealousy when he showed his talent but still rose to the top. A man then came and reported to them that something bad was going to happen. According to the guy, a poisonous cloud appeared again in the trial tower after the 19th floor, and it's still spreading upward. In just 4 hours, the poisonous cloud had spread to the 20th floor, and there is a tendency for it to reach up to the 25th floor. A rough estimate is that 3,000 candidates have been affected. At present, except for some lower-level candidates who are practicing in front of the 19th floor, there are only a few top students who are above the 24th floor. The candidates who were above the 24th floor were no less than 100 people. Every one of them was curious and concluded that it might be a man-made poison. Man-made? Are you saying that corrupt people mixed in with the examining teams, one guy asked? For the last 300 years of the apocalypse, most of humanity has struggled to survive with the help of a handful of professionals, but some of them are exceptions. They're either unwilling to face the reality of failed awakening, or they're pursuing more powerful power and choose to surrender to the alien demon god. In their understanding, the end of the world has already come, and dedicating the entire world to the devil is the only way to maintain human civilization. So they have been hiding in the dark to carry out destruction, intending to subvert human power and rule to please the demon god. This group is known as the Fallen, the guy then concluded. The Fallen have massacred all the candidates. If they had taken action, why did the candidates still escape? The guy beside him then replied that it should be to preserve strength, and he was afraid those S-class professionals were the targets of the Fallen. The old man behind them then proclaimed that the tower would be blocked during the exams, so they wouldn't be able to interfere. For now, they can only place their hopes on the talented candidates since the Fallen aren't high in terms of rank. so it isn't impossible to fight back. After a few hours, Lin Lu and his team reached the 26th floor. They also leveled up after clearing the lower floors. Tang Cheng is now level 20, Yi Naining is now level 25, and Lin Lu is now level 30 and has 4 skills to learn. There is a so-called reproductive excitation, a mutated skill that can make the target full of desire for reproduction for a short period of time, suppress rationality, and invent desire behaviors with surrounding creatures of any type and gender at any time, place, and state. The remaining 3 new skills are also extremely abnormal genital warts, a type of sexually transmitted infection that causes warts to form in and around genitals and rectums, gonorrhea, spread by sexual contact with the penis, vagina, mouth, or anus of an infected partner. And the syphilis outbreak, a sexually transmitted infection caused by the bacterium Treponema pallidum. All the skills were cruel to Lin Lu, but then he didn't have a choice but to learn them all without missing a single one. He was making a weird face with a perverted smile while learning the skills, which confused Yi Naining and Tang Cheng. Yi Naining then approached him, asking what new skills he learned, but Lin Lu told her it is better for her not to know. As per the lady, Lin Lu can perform a second job transfer since he has now reached level 30. Lin Lu then said he was ready for the job transfer and immediately checked the mission. The secret realm also rewarded him with the exclusive hidden job transfer book, so he didn't need to wait any longer. He immediately activated it and was about to carry out the second job transfer mission. The system let him choose, and the options were both unique: the Dark Lord and the Evil Doctor. The Dark Lord is the only hidden profession, the savior of the Dark Kingdom that walks in the twilight, the home of the souls of the dead and the undead. After transferring, the user can walk in the material realm and the land of hell and manipulate the powers of the undead, the souls of the undead, and the undead at will. Lin Lu's current skills remain unchanged after the transfer, and then his skills will evolve into those exclusive to the Master of the Underworld, or the Dark Lord. He will gain 10 exclusive skill points to upgrade his skills for the second turn. Upon successful transfer, he will gain 10 exclusive skill points, but due to proximity to the darkness, his appearance will be infinitely closer to that of the undead. His body will be permanently transformed into a necromantic body, and 10 points will be permanently increased towards his charisma with the dead, while his charisma with the living will permanently decrease by 10. It is the only hidden profession and looks very powerful, but Lin Lu feels that it isn't a good match for his current skills. Moreover, he would have to change his appearance and become a skeleton, which is too uncomfortable for him. His other option is the Evil Doctor, the only hidden profession. After changing professions, he will become the most evil and unprofessional doctor in history. His skills will carry additional effects. After a successful job transfer, he will obtain the only skill: non-responsible surgery. It is an extremely dangerous surgery in which the operator does not bear any risk. The effects of the operation are not guaranteed, and no one is responsible for the result. There is a certain chance of causing random disability, random deformity, random degeneration, organ transplantation, and many more effects on the current target. It can only be cast on human or humanoid creatures. After a successful job transfer, Lin Lu will receive 10 exclusive skill points. Upon reading the Evil Doctor's description, Lin Lu was amazed as it felt like opening a blind box for him. More importantly, the blind box is opened on someone else, and the consequences are borne by someone else. He's mainly responsible for fun. With this interesting and responsibility-free surgery, Lin Lu cannot refuse at all. He then job transferred to an Evil Doctor and acquired a unique hidden quest, Silver Heart. Silver Heart is the only job change mission to kill a silver-level humanoid boss and obtain its heart. This mission should be completed within a month for him to receive the rewards. After a successful job transfer, Lin Lu then told Tang Cheng and Yi Naining that the 3 of them would now go their separate ways. Is it because of the job transfer mission? Do you want my help? Yi Naining asked. Tang Cheng also said, yes, Brother Lu, I can also help you resist some attacks, and it's safer to go together. Lin Louisiana then informed them that he had to kill a silver-level humanoid boss, and he knew it would be very difficult to find it in the wild. Even if they found it, he believed it would be snatched away by powerful people. He also added that it happens there's only one in the Tower of Trials. Yi Ning then believes that Lin Lu is referring to the boss on the 30th floor, and she was worried, knowing that it would be dangerous to go alone on that floor. It's too big of a target with 3 people, and I can't take care of everyone. But I feel sorry for you guys, it'll be hard for you to go to the next floor, Lin Lu replied. Brother Lu, what are you talking about? Without you, we would have stopped at the 19th floor. Now that I can reach the 26th floor, I have already made a lot of progress, Tang Cheng stated. Lin Louisiana then tapped his shoulder and told him that they would see each other again later. Before Lin Lu left, Yi Ning suddenly held his hand and asked him to wait. The lady gave him a stand-in puppet, a special one-time item that can resist a lethal attack once and then disappear. But then Lin Lu refused to accept it, knowing that this thing was very important to her. It is a precious item, so he believes it was given to Yi Ning by her family to save her life. This item is like having one more life. You must take it, your safety is most important to me. You're the one I care about the most, as a friend, Yi Ning said. She felt nervous knowing that she almost confessed her love for Lin Lu. She put it in Lin Lu's hand and then told Tang Cheng that they must leave now. Tang Cheng then told Lin Lu to take care of himself. Lin Lu just stared at them leaving the tower and a part of him wanted to chase Uniting to give back the puppet. At the same time, in another part of the tower, Dongfang and his team were fighting hellhounds. Hao Ran was so annoyed that they hadn't encountered any ordinary monsters, but instead directly ran into the level 35 elite monster hellhounds. If things keep going like this, he knows they're going to get killed. Dongfang, it's a coincidence that we met. We should work together. It's better for everyone if we preserve our strength, the assassin guy said. Dongfang agreed with his suggestion. According to Dongfang, the closest entrance to the 28th floor is near Lava Lake. He headed the way, but the assassin rushed first and killed numerous monsters to clear their way. He was using his Spectral Phantom Thunder Sword, Mountain Splitter Demon Sword QI, and his 3-layer magic shield. After clearing the monsters, they finally reached Lava Lake and saw the portal. They were about to rush into the gate, but then the lava suddenly burst out and a monster appeared. The lava flew away from them, and most of them were harmed, including Hao Ran. Hao Ran slammed on the ground, and the guy beside him also transformed into his human form and got wounded. According to this guy, the monster that comes out from the lava is a Hellhound King, the boss of the 27th floor. Hao Ran then also said that the Hellhound King usually sleeps in the lava lake, so he wondered why it came out all of a sudden. The assassin guy then told Dongfang that it was his dragon pet that irritated the king of Hellhounds. They have the same attributes, and devouring the dragon pet allowed the Hellhound King to evolve. Swallow my dragon's pet? Let's see if it has the guts. Pan Chen, you're not trying to escape, are you? Dongfang said. How is that possible? You and I are rivals and friends, and our families are related. Now that the Hellhound King has set his sights on you, how can I stand by and do nothing? Pan Chen replied. He then charged at the Hellhound King together with Dongfang. At the same time, Yining and Tang Cheng exited the tower. Yining was blushing, whispering to herself that Lin Lu's hands were warm and firm, causing her heart to beat so fast. Tang Cheng was staring at her with a smile on his face, and he said that he should have to change the way he called Yining. Yining then told herself that she didn't have the time to think about her feelings toward Lin Lu, knowing that Lin Lu was alone inside the tower right now. She was hoping for the safety of Lin Lu, and Tang Cheng addressed her as sister-in-law and told her not to worry since Lin Lu is really strong, so he would be fine. Yining was surprised at how Tang Cheng called her sister-in-law. You can't hide the matter between you and Lu from me. Didn't you write a love letter to him when you were a freshman in high school? I happened to look in a drawer in Brother Louisiana's house. He hid it really deep, Tang Cheng said. Yining was shocked, then asked Tang Cheng about Lin Lu's reaction at that time. She gave Lin Lu a love letter but didn't receive any response and originally thought Lin Lu didn't even look at her letter. But then, as per Tang Cheng, during that time, Lin Lu received the letter and Lin Lu was out of his mind and was talking about going back and dreaming and so on. It took Tang Cheng a long time to talk him out of it. However, he was sure that Lin Lu was concerned about Yining. While they were talking, Hao Ran and his other companion exited the tower. The people then looked at them, knowing that both men were members of Dongfang. Hao Ran then saw Yining, and he immediately asked her how she was and what level she reached. Damn you, Hao Ran, what the hell? Are you going to treat my sister-in-law with such affection? Get out of here or I'll beat you to death, you bastard, Tang Cheng angrily said. Hao Ran was dumbfounded the moment he heard Tang Cheng addressing Yining as his sister-in-law. He was so hopeless upon hearing it. His head was down, and he was out of words. Tang Cheng and Yining then walked away, and Tang Cheng told Yining not to get involved with Hao Ran. Because of what he said, Hao Ran became furious and commanded him to repeat it. He also asked Tang Cheng when Yining became his sister-in-law, "You can't tell me how close she is to Brother Lu." "Of course she's my sister-in-law," Tang Cheng casually replied. Yining also warned Hao Ran that she would take action if he continued to yell at them. However, Hao Ran continued spouting words, proclaiming that Lin Lu's is just a D-rank piece of trash. He could not accept the fact that Yining lets Tang Cheng call her his sister-in-law while she gets mad when he calls her by her name. "It a lousy D-rank priest, how can he compare to me? And you, C-rank trash, dare to look down on me," he angrily said while pointing his index finger at Tang Cheng. Tang Cheng then grabbed his hand while Yining pointed an ice sword at him. "Lousy trash. Do you think the guy who took us all the way to the 26th floor is trash?" Young Hao Ran, open your eyes and watch carefully, Tang Cheng said. He then opened his system and let Hao Ran see which floor Lin Lu's was currently on. It was clearly seen on the interface that Lin Lu's was on the 27th floor. Hao Ran was mad as it was impossible for him to believe. The people around also overheard it, and they could not believe that a priest was able to climb so high. People were talking too much, and none of them believed that Lin Lu's really made it. Some even said that Lin Lu's was cheating. One of the coordinators suddenly called Hao Ran, saying that the deputy city guard wanted to see him. After a few minutes, Hao Ran went to the man who called him, and he was speechless since these men were all big shots. He looked very nervous, wondering what these people needed from him. The old man in the middle then told him to calm down since there was just something they wanted to ask. "You retreated from the 27th floor. Did you find any abnormalities along the way through the tower? For example, poisonous fog or something?" the old man asked. Hao Ran then replied that he didn't notice a poisonous fog, but there was an abnormality. The Hellhound King, who was supposed to be sleeping, suddenly woke up but was seriously injured by the remaining team and escaped back to the lava lake. He also said that he believed he would have reached the next level if it weren't for the Hellhound King. Because of what he said, the men found out that no viruses were encountered by the team of Dongfang, who was currently in first place. Since that was the case, they concluded that the Black Death was not originally present in the tower. One of them deduced that the poison might have been brought in by a candidate or a fallen one. Someone then came and informed them that the Black Death virus suddenly stopped on the 26th floor and did not spread upward. Aside from Dongfang and Pan Chen, another candidate arrived on the 27th floor. The lords then asked for the information of the person who reached the 27th floor, and the man replied that the name of the person was Lin Lu's, a D-rank priest. As expected, the lords were shocked since it was the first time a priest's profession had reached that level, and they knew that Lin Lu's was a member of Yu Ning's team. They were confused about how Lin Lu's made it while Yi Ning failed. Hao Ran then told them that Lin Lu's team was also able to hold back a sea-level rock knight, and for him, it should be impossible for Lin Lu's team to reach even the 20th floor. So he believed Lin Lu's was cheating. The chief deputy was hesitant to believe since the Tower of Trials was a miracle given by God, and even if someone cheated, the most they could do was prepare some special items in advance to deal with monsters. He believed that this alone was not enough for a priest to have such achievements. He then asked his comrades about their opinion, and the bald old man said that Yi Ning must have some kind of special skills. The deputy chief then decided to investigate Lin Lu's background. At the same time, Yi Ning went to her aunt, Qing. Qing then instantly asked her if the Black Death belonged to Lin Lu's. Yi Ning was shocked and asked her aunt how she knew it. According to Qing, all the candidates from the 19th floor to the 25th floor were poisoned, but Yi Ning and Tang Cheng weren't affected. Plus, Lin Lu's cleared a secret realm, which is why she guessed it should be Lin Lu's who had the Black Death. Although most people are now in chaos due to the sudden emergence of the virus, as long as we investigate carefully, they will find out sooner or later who the culprit is. Many of those infected students were sons of great families, and because of Lin Lu's, they were forced to drop out earlier and get lower grades than expected. If things go public, they'll go on a revenge spree, Qing stated. Upon hearing her conclusion, Yi Ning became more worried for Lin Lu's. She then asked her aunt what they should do to save Lin Lu's. Qing then whispered to Yi Ning what she should do, and Yi Ning listened to her carefully. Afterward, she was hesitant and suggested talking about it with her father, but Qing disagreed, knowing that her brother would surely stop them. Of course, Yi Ning decided to follow what Qing wanted, and she would do anything just for Lin Lu's. Going back inside the tower, Lin Lu's was standing in the middle of the Hellhounds who were busy with each other. The Hellhound's attention wasn't on him because he used reproductive excitation skills against them. As he reached the lava lake, the same thing happened, it burst out, and the Hellhound King appeared. He was confused as to why it showed up, knowing that it was supposed to be sleeping. It was roaring, and Lin Lu's was staring at it, feeling like this Hellhound King was badly hurt. He then concluded that this Hellhound must have been beaten back by someone and escaped to the lava lake. He knew that even in pain it would surely target him, so he immediately activated his staff. The Hellhound King gathered a magic attack, but Lin Lu's was calm, activating his Alzheimer's disease skill that would cause the target to forget or misremember the skills they had mastered in a short period. Under the circumstances, it could also cause magical backlash. Right now, Lin Lu's intention was to kill this king while it was still weak. Here's another little package for you. He uttered and attacked the Hellhound King with his pain intensification, combined with his diarrhea, skin explosion, and blood fever. For Lin Lu's, this pain package was exclusive to the boss, and he told the king to enjoy himself. The Hellhound King screamed in agony, panicking at the lava lake, and its eyes suddenly shone while staring at Lin Lu's. At this moment, Lin Lu's felt something wasn't right. A part of him then deduced that the Hellhound King was going into a berserker state, but then it turned out that he was wrong since the Hellhound King ran away in fear. He then cast another magic power, his mental confusion, and immediately attacked the Hellhound. Because of the skill he used, the Hellhound King became mentally disturbed and attacked any surrounding targets unconsciously. It charged at the small Hellhounds, who were confused, staring at him. A strong explosion then happened, and in a short span of time, Lin Lu's killed the Hellhound King, gaining 77,500 experience points and leveling up to level 31. 4 attribute values were increased by a fixed amount of 1, and he gained 4 attribute points and 2 skill points. He also gained magic crystals and a burning dagger. The magic crystal is the life essence of high-level monsters and bosses with a wide range of uses, such as consumables, refining materials, formation materials, and more. Flame Shield is a bronze-level skill book limited to mage professions that can use their own mana to summon a flame shield made entirely of flames around them, which has a certain degree of defense but also has a counter burn effect. Lastly, the Burning Dagger is silver level, giving 15 additional strength, 30 additional skills, and fire poison. The enemy attacked by the dagger will be burned by fire poison, and it is common to all professions. Lin Lu's was satisfied with all the rewards he obtained and concluded that he might be the one who killed the Hellhound boss, knowing that it is hard to kill a boss that runs away when it can't beat anyone. Since there were only 2 hours left before the exam ended, he immediately rushed to the portal, wanting to reach the 30th floor as soon as possible to do his job change mission. At this moment, Mirong Xuan was inside her quarters. She had just finished taking a bath when her subordinate came to inform her that Li Mei disappeared after leaving the trial tower. Xuan then concluded that Mei was avoiding her because of what happened inside the tower. She then commanded her subordinate to remove Mei's parents from their positions and cut off their family's financial resources. Right now, she wanted Li Mei to be out of Binghai permanently in 3 days. Aside from Li Mei, there was another thing her subordinate wanted to report. According to her subordinate, she had sorted out the situation in the trial tower. She opened her window interface to send it out to Xuan, but Xuan said there was no need since she believed that Dongfang would be first in the examination, followed by Pan Chen. Her subordinate then informed her that Pan Chen, Hao Xiao, and others had exited the trial tower and stopped on the 28th floor. Now, besides Dongfang, there was also a D-rank priest, Lin Luz, on the 28th floor. What? A D-rank priest reached the 28th floor? And such a thing happened, Xuan replied in surprise. She then checked her system as she received the rankings and remembered that Lin Luz was under Yining's team. She discovered that there was poisonous fog in the tower and concluded that it was Lin Luz's ability. According to her, she and Yining didn't know each other very well but were familiar with each other. As a young lady of a big family, Yining was like an ordinary girl without any intention and as kind as water. For her, Lin Luz has great potential, and Yining has eyes for him. Her subordinate then asked if she thought Lin Luz was a strong rival. If it's just a handful of virus fog, it's not much. After all, viruses are limited in size and density by the space they travel in, so it's hard for them to make it to the outside world, she replied. She then laughed and added that she was actually getting a little excited despite the fact that Lin Luz is just a D-rank priest, thinking that he might have more tricky skills. At the same time, outside the tower, people were loudly gossiping about Lin Luz reaching above the 28th floor. There was a man who was annoyed, believing that Lin Luz had used some special item to cheat. His companion said that Lin Luz used Yining's family's resources to obtain powerful items. Yining overheard what they said, so she got mad and told them that Lin Luz didn't cheat. Tang Cheng then asked her to calm down and remember that these kinds of people were the ones who could not accept reality. Qing then stated that Lin Luz might not just break the Banhai City record at this rate, but may even surpass the Imperial College students and become a national champion. Yining then asked her if the students from Imperial College were strong, and Qing replied yes. According to her, their Binhai City's college entrance examination record in previous years was only 26 floors, while the Imperial Capital's was as high as 29 floors. The person who set this record is very famous. His name is Zhang Meizhen. He's a necromancer by profession and is originally from Binhai City. Unfortunately, a major incident occurred in Binhai City a few years ago, which resulted in the Zhen family being almost wiped out. The remaining family members had no choice but to leave the city and become vassals of other clans. Among them was also Zhang Meizhen. This name feels familiar, Yining said. Auntie, you knew him back then, didn't you? That's all in the past, Chuing replied. Don't mention him. With Lin Luz's potential, there's a real chance he could win the Wonder of the World reward, Chuing replied while staring at the tower. Yining and Tang Cheng were shocked upon hearing it. Qing then realized that they didn't know that the champion at the end of this exam would be rewarded with a world wonder. While they were talking, teacher Lai Yu approached them, saying that she was impressed that both made it to the 26th floor. She then informed Tang Cheng and Yining that many people were asking for information about them. She had been approached by the education department, the professional union, the city council, and even several big families. She warned both students to be careful. Tang Cheng then told the teacher not to worry, since Lin Luz had explained everything to them inside the Tower of Trial. On the 28th floor, level 40 harpies were flying around, and on the ground were level 42 bloodthirsty willow trees. At this moment, Dong Fang was kneeling on the ground, panting. He was struggling to deal with the monsters in this tower, and was annoyed that the monsters on the 28th floor were so difficult to deal with, causing his dragon to be almost killed. He started to feel hopeless, thinking of stopping the examination on this floor instead of continuing to fight the monsters here. However, a part of him wouldn't accept it since he was still far from reaching his goal. This was because he had long vowed to surpass Zhang Meizhen and prove to the world that the Dongfang family was the #1 family. Upon remembering his goal, he became determined again. Besides, he knew that it was just a little more ahead to reach the Ice Toad territory, the Ice Lake, and go through it so he could see the entrance to the next level. While he was hiding, one harpy found him, so he suddenly believed that this would be the last floor he would reach. However, the harpy paused and flew back, which confused him. He then concluded that the harpy must have seen another person. However, he believed it was impossible, since he was sure he should be the only one left on the 28th floor. He took a look to confirm if his conclusion was right, and was shocked the moment he saw the monsters fighting against each other. The fighting posture didn't look right to him, with moans in the area, and the harpies seemed to be in pleasure. Dongfang then realized that the monsters weren't fighting at all, and seemed to be involved in a group perversion game. Then he saw someone that shocked him. As expected, it was Lin Luz. Wow, cross-gender is fine, but cross-species is even better. I never thought animals and plants could play like this. This skill, reproductive excitement, is really terrifying, Lin Luz uttered. Lin Luz believed that he could have gotten a huge amount of experience points while the monsters were messing around if it were a normal day. But now he knew he didn't have enough time, so he wanted to quickly rush to the entrance of the next floor. He didn't know that Dongfang was looking at him. Dongfang was confused as he couldn't believe that a priest would reach this floor. Part of him believed that Lin Luz had a hidden profession that he had never heard of. He was annoyed and didn't want to let Lin Luz move forward anymore. "I'm sorry, my dragon pet. I'll just have to make you pay for it, no matter what it takes. The winner must be me," he uttered while summoning an elixir. After a few minutes, Lin Luz reached the area of the level 43 ice poison toads. As he entered, he was freezing. He recalled that this place was originally a lake but had now turned into a frozen lake because of the gathering of a large number of ice poisonous toads. The temperature in the depths of the frozen lake could reach around 100 deg below zero, and if someone entered rashly, that person might freeze to death. He knew that it would take over an hour to get there, and he didn't have much time left. So, he would just have to figure out how to resist it. Just so happens that the skill dropped by Hellhound King is a defensive skill. And priests are also a kind of mage profession, so he wanted to give it a try. He immediately learned the Flame Shield without any idea of what it would mutate into. The skill is called the Penicillin Phage Antibody Shield. It's a mutant skill that passively devours any elemental power close to its user, generating permanent antibodies of the corresponding attribute. The accumulated antibodies can be actively released as a protective shield, guarding the user while generating a counter effect. Lin Luz then used it and was surprised that one passive skill had so many effects. His body was getting less cold, and at this rate, not to mention the cold land, he believed he could even go to the magma pool, the acid sea, and the Styx River. But those were all matters for later. The most important thing for him right now was to get to the next floor. While he was heading toward the portal, Dongfang was following in his footsteps. Dongfang was prepared for this. He used the flame stone that he had prepared beforehand to keep the cold out. He was staring at Lin Luz in disbelief as Lin Luz marched into the area like it was no big deal. "You're a dragon, this cold is nothing to you. By swallowing this elixir, you can double your strength for 10 minutes by burning your blood," he uttered while staring at his dragon. He then let his dragon swallow the elixir, and the dragon became stronger. Dongfang commanded his dragon to kill Lin Luz so he could be the winner alone. The dragon then charged at Lin Luz, but Lin Luz noticed something was chasing him. He was able to dodge before the dragon could hit him. He was shocked to see a dragon in the area, knowing that only poisonous toads should be found here. Lin Luz stared at the dragon and realized it was still a baby dragon. He then remembered that one of the top 3 candidates seemed to have a dragon pet. He summoned a lizardman, wondering why Dongfang would sneak attack him if he didn't have a grudge against him. All the summoned lizardmen charged at the dragon and bit its skin. The dragon screamed in pain. Lin Luz was aware that his lizardman warriors were no match for this, but he was sure they were enough to contain the dragon. He then attacked the dragon using his skin explosion, and the dragon continuously screamed in agony, but it remained alive due to its high defense. Since this dragon appeared in this area, Lin Luz concluded that Dongfang was also nearby. However, he had no idea where Dongfang was hiding. All the lizardman warriors were killed by the dragon, but Lin Luz remained calm, planning to use the dragon to track down Dongfang. He attacked the dragon using his mental confusion skill, and the dragon suddenly turned around and flew back toward Dongfang. The dragon landed in the area where Dongfang was hiding, but Dongfang immediately jumped away. "Damn it, what are you doing? Get your head straight," Dongfang said to his dragon. He then activated his magic power while challenging Lin Luz to fight head-on since his position had been exposed. He commanded his dragon to go together with him and kill Lin Luz. Since the dragon had recovered, Lin Luz confirmed that its resistance was way too high. He believed the situation would be different for Dongfang. Lin Luz attacked Dongfang with the same skill he had last used on the dragon. Dongfang was shocked when he saw Lin Luz beside him. "How dare you choose to fight me in close combat? Coming to the 28th floor is the biggest mistake of your life," he angrily said, attacking Lin Luz several times. Lin Luz didn't fight back while Dongfang was attacking him. Dongfang claimed that there could only be one champion, and that was him. He then attacked Lin Luz using his yellow flash strike with killing intent, and he witnessed Lin Luz scream in agony as he was wrapped in his strike. Dongfang stood proudly and laughed, saying that no matter what hidden profession Lin Luz had, it couldn't compare to his profession of Dragon Knight. "Dragon Knight? What about your dragon?" Lin Luz said, which startled Dongfang. Dongfang looked at the ground and discovered that he had attacked his own dragon pet. He then looked back at Lin Luz, accusing him of using something to confuse him. "Why don't you keep your mouth shut? I wonder if you'll still be able to scream if I rip your tongue out," Lin Luz said. "You just took advantage of my serious injury. Don't get cocky. Stay alive and I'll tear you apart in tomorrow's individual competition," Dongfang angrily replied. It's not enough to use the emergency return to escape but still want to act tough. He's not even embarrassed. Look how good I am, not only repaying evil with kindness but also preparing a small gift for his dragon cub. I wonder if Dongfang will like it, Lin Luz added. But then he decided to forget about it and walked away as he was rushing to change his mission. At this time, Dongfang exited the tower. The people were looking forward to seeing who it was, as Dongfang was still covered in golden light. With only 2 candidates left in the tower, Dongfang and Lin Liziana's, people already had a clue that the man who exited right now was either one of them. Of course, most people believed that it would be Lin Luz who just exited. The 3 men whom Lin Luz had attacked with poison were so annoyed, believing that Lin Luz was a cheater. Others also blamed Lin Luz, since it was because of the poisonous fog that they left the tower. After a minute, Dongfang became visible with his dragon pet. "What are you doing surrounding me?" "Want to fight," Dongfang said with annoyance. The men in front then said that they were just shocked that he was the one who came out first instead of Lin Luz. The man in the middle pointed at the dragon pet, saying that there seemed to be something wrong with Dongfang's dragon pet. The dragon was shivering and had something it was holding in its mouth. Dongfang then looked at his dragon, and the dragon suddenly pooped. The smell covered the surroundings, and people began complaining about the stinky odor. Dongfang was annoyed, believing that Lin Luz had done something, and promised himself that he would definitely tear Lin Luz to pieces by tomorrow after the examination. Somewhere in Dongfang's home, 2 family members were talking about the examination. The man sitting on the rock was confident that Dongfang would be ranked first in the competition. This ancestor, it's hard to say. There's currently another candidate on the 28th floor with a D-level priest. Dongfang Daizong said, the family patriarch. The ancestor then said that the D-rank priest must have used some kind of secretive tactics and told Daizong not to compare that guy to Dongfang. "You're only in a rank profession after all. Sooner or later, the future of the Dongfang family will be handed over to Haiyar, who has more potential. I know you're jealous, but he is your son, and I don't want another grandchild to die," the ancestor added. Daizong was about to deny what his ancestor said, but then his watch beeped as he received a report that Dongfang had been eliminated before the priest and his dragon pet had been embarrassed in front of everyone. Right now, Dongfang's dragon pet was described as a dragon stench, and he was overwhelmed by it, along with many other candidates. The ancestor was shocked and at a loss for words upon hearing it. Back on the 28th floor, where the ice poison toad could be found, this monster had cold poison skill, tongue strike skill, and self-destruct skill. This ice toad was corrupted by another worldly aura, and its body was filled with poison and cold, making it very dangerous. It would blow itself up after being fatally attacked. Lin Luz then attacked it with his skin explosion. The toad's blood splattered, and Lin Luz was shocked when he witnessed the toad blow itself up and look like a balloon. Lin Luz knew it was planning to self-destruct but didn't want it to happen. He cast his Alzheimer's ability to make the toad forget or misremember the skills it had mastered for a short period of time. The toad ribbited and instantly died at the hands of Lin Luz before it could self-destruct. After eliminating it, Lin Luz gained 14,000 experience points. He was glad he managed to stop the toad from using the self-destruct, as he didn't know the power of its explosion, and it would have been troublesome if it had affected him. He then went to the position of the dead toad to collect the items that dropped from it. He found an ice poison bead, one of the treasures of heaven, that only coalesces from the body of an ice poison toad that has survived for more than 100 years. It can be used as a material for refining weapons and medicines, and can also be swallowed directly to increase spiritual power by 1 point. However, for Lin Luz, it wasn't right. Natural treasures that increase attributes are uncommon. But there's always a limit to how much one can consume, like a maximum of 10 times or something. If he exceeds that number, it means it won't work anymore. It's not that hard for him to get into the Tower of Trials, but if there were such a thing, he believes it would have already been scrubbed by the professionals. He then remembered that the toad would explode when killed. After it exploded, it took the bead with it. Generally, those who can prevent monsters from exploding are high-level professionals, and those kinds of people tend to speed through the lower levels, so they can't be bothered to stop low-level monsters from blowing themselves up. However, low-level professionals don't have the ability to defeat the ice poison toad and would only cause it to self-destruct, so they wouldn't be able to get this ice poison bead at all. If that's true, Lin Luz concludes that this item is an unexplored treasure and is worth a try. He then attacked another toad with his skin explosion skill, and the same thing happened, the toad blew up. This time, Lin Luz didn't perform any attacks after the toad exploded. When it popped, it created a strong gust of wind, making the snow explode. The toad disappeared, leaving only its blood on the ground. Lin Luz received experience points, confirming his guess that preventing the toads from exploding was the key to obtaining the ice poison beads. Alright then, next he uttered and positioned himself at the top of the rocks. Below were several toads, and to deal with them in the shortest time possible, he needed more companions. So, he summoned several of his lizard men. 3 toads charged at them, and he immediately attacked the toads using his staff. The toads exploded before they could blow up. As Lin Luz looked in the other direction, he saw many toads rushing toward him. He chuckled and concluded that the sound of attacks had attracted many of these toads. However, Lin Luz remained calm as he had already planted a large number of Black Death viruses on the ice poison toads that failed to self-destruct and died. Since the air was full of viruses, Lin Luz immediately activated his Black Death outbreak, killing numerous poison toads and gaining a lot of experience points. His level also increased to level 36, and 4 attribute values were increased by a fixed amount of 1. Plus, he gained 4 free attribute points. Lin Luz was panting. He was tired, as it took a lot of energy to deal with many level 43 monsters. Fortunately, the harvest was quite generous this time, as he got a total of 248 ice poison beads. He immediately used several beads and gained spirit energies. It felt so nice for him, and he now realized what it felt like when attributes increased. Right now, his spirit energy had doubled compared to before. At least a few tens of levels were needed to have this much effect. Surprisingly, the demonic rune had been activated, as it absorbed enough alien breath and an alien soul to increase its effect. A demonic rune is a special item that adds 10% to all attributes. Its other effect is demonization. The bearer can use this rune to transform into any demonized creature he has killed. Another effect is energy absorption. It absorbs energy from the aura that can greatly increase the speed of mana recovery. There are more effects of this rune, but Lin Louisiana's Z level is still insufficient for him to check them. As per Lin Luz, effect 1 can increase the attribute values by 10, and it has the ability to transform him into a monster. Effect 3, on the other hand, is even more ridiculously powerful, as Lin Luz no longer has to worry about mana consumption in the future. At this time, there was a huge toad above him. He flustered at first, but luckily for him, it only landed in front of him. It turned out to be the king-level ice poison toad, a level 45 demonized creature with skills such as cold poison, tongue attack, self-destruction, and freezing light. The king born among the ice poison toads had extremely strong overall strength. Just in time, let me try my new powers, Lin Luz uttered. He suddenly disappeared and turned into a white toad. He was so amazed at the skill he used to trick the Toad King. At the same time, the surrounding area was already full of the Black Death virus, and even if he didn't do anything, he knew the Toad King would still die. However, he didn't know how long it would take for the Toad King to die, and he didn't have much time to wait. The angle where he positioned himself was perfect, so he decided to use his new combo skill. He first activated his skin explosion and attacked the Toad King. The Toad King continued to ribbit and tried to catch him, but he was able to avoid it and immediately activated his diarrhea skill. The Toad King pooped, and its body was shivering. That's my new but limited combo, and it's going to hurt even the bosses. I'm going to finish you now, Lin Luz uttered and attacked the Toad King, using his skin explosion once again. But then, the Toad King glared at him and deflected his skin explosion skill, using the freezing light. Lin Luz was surprised and knew he would surely die if he got hit head-on. The Toad King glared again and planned to hit Lin Luz, but Lin Luz activated his Alzheimer's disease, so the Toad King forgot how to use his skill. Lin Luz then attacked it with a skin explosion in the eye and uttered, "I attacked his eyes." Now he won't be able to use its skill again, and now it's my turn. He then let his summoned Lizardman attack the Toad King. The Toad King screamed, trying to self-destruct, but of course Lin Luz wouldn't let it happen. Lin Luz used his Alzheimer's skill and easily killed the Toad King. Since he finally eliminated it, he gained 100,000 experience points and leveled up to level 36. His 4 attribute values were increased by a fixed amount of 1. He also obtained the Ice King's Gland and Bead, plus he got 5 skill points and obtained the Ice King's Whip and a Frozen Light skill book. Lin Luz was surprised that the Toad King dropped so many items. The Ice King Bead is a treasure of heaven and earth. It can only be swallowed directly to increase spirit power by 10 points and gain a random super ability. The Ice King's Gland is a special material, the poisonous gland of the Ice Toad King, containing an intense cold poison that can be used to make equipment. As for the Frozen Light skill book, Lin Luz thinks it's the one that froze his skin explosion skill earlier. He then learned the skill, and it is called Owl Spread. Owls often start in the hands, feet, arms, or legs, then spread to other parts of the body. Muscles get weaker as more nerve cells die. This eventually affects chewing, swallowing, speaking, and breathing. Lin Luz heard of this disease in his original world. It's like an irreversible, incurable disease. Unexpectedly, it's a powerful control skill in his hands, which can be very useful. The Ice King's Bead is also very impressive. Not only can it increase Lin Luz's spirit power, but it also gives a super ability. A super ability is something that only an epic professional can realize. Lin Luz consumed the Ice King's Bead. His spirit power increased by 10, and he awakened the ability of Bone Piercing. In addition, he awakened an ability called Adrenaline Rush. It accelerates Lin Louisiana's breathing, heart rate, and blood flow, dramatically increasing his reaction time and agility. The degree of enhancement is influenced by spirit power. This ability will rapidly deplete his spirit power, and he will lose his mind if it consumes too much. This ability is so strong the enhancement depends on spirit power, and his spirit power is already very high, which means it can strengthen him to the point where he is not afraid of close combat. Lin Luz stated with excitement. Right now outside the tower, Dongfang, he was being checked by a doctor. People were looking at him. The men earlier were stopping themselves from laughing, but they almost could not hold it since they never imagined Dongfang would be completely humiliated by his own dragon pet. Dongfang, he is furious at Lin Luz and is very determined to kill Lin Luz by his own hands. At this moment, someone pointed at the tower and told everyone to take a look. According to him, while they were focused on the dragon poop, the priest had already reached the 29th floor. As usual, the people were very loud in disbelief. While people were murmuring, Tang Chang and Yining overheard them. Tang Chang then proudly said that Lin Luz was indeed amazing, and for him, Lin Luz was the coolest guy in the whole city right now. Of course, Yai Ning was also proud of Lin Lu's, and she said that the record held by Jian Mason has been broken. I can't believe it. The real dragon turns out to be a priest. This kid's future is limitless, the deputy chief said. The guy in the red suit then stated that the Dongfang family has been so arrogant for so long, which is why he never thought that Dongfang would be defeated by a candidate. Xuan was also looking by the window and said that Lin Lu's had some other means, otherwise he could never have reached this point. Now, in terms of trial tower power entrance examination results alone, she believes Lin Lu's has become #1 in the country. I think we'll have to change our plans for him. As long as he becomes a member of my Mirong family, even if the wonder of this world ends up in his hand, it's not unacceptable, she added. Meanwhile, Lin Lu's reached the 30th floor of the trial tower. He spent too much time on ice toads, which is why he did everything he could to fast-track the 29th floor. Lucky for him, the monsters on the 29th floor were so wild and aggressive that just a few spells of mental confusion had them fighting amongst themselves. It got worse, and eventually it became a massive gang fight. Lin Lu's took the opportunity to sneak to the entrance and passed easily. Even so, there is still not enough time now. Lin Lu's has to reach the boss quickly. There were bats here on the 30th floor, so he was planning to use them. The sinking bats were level 45 demonic creatures. They have flight skills, bloodless skill, sonic attack skill, and plague spreading skill. These monsters are giant bats corrupted by otherworldly aura, extremely bloodthirsty. Lin Lu's activated his skin explosion skill and attacked one of the bats. Because of it, the bats woke up and fled while Lin Lu's was staring at them. Lin Lu's believed that the bats felt threatened. The bats were red, but there was one white bat. There were only 20 minutes left before the examination ended, so Lin Lu's wanted to see the humanoid boss as soon as possible. As he followed the bats, he saw a big cemetery. There were humanoid monsters in the area, so Lin Lu's concluded that the boss must be a humanoid monster too. These monsters were called level 45 blood slaves. They have unlimited strength skill, phantom attack skill, poison claws, and blood-sucking skill. These monsters were corrupted by the otherworldly aura and were trapped in this world to guard their master. There are also level 48 blood servants, and these monsters have a blood-fighting spirit, blood shield, illusional attack, and blood fury skill. These monsters were also trapped in this world to guard their master. Since 2 blood servants were standing on the stage, Lin Lu's concluded that both were elite monsters guarding the boss, who might be inside the coffin. Right now, Lin Lu's doesn't have enough time to think, so he immediately activated his mental confusion and attacked one of the blood servants. The blood servant, who was affected by the confusion skill, was puzzled and suddenly attacked his companion beside him. While both were fighting, Lin Lu's grabbed the chance and rushed to the coffin. As he reached the coffin, he saw the face of the humanoid boss who was sleeping. This boss is called the Silver Fallen Baron, who is currently level 50. This guy's skills are Blood Battle, Blood Magic, Blood Shadow, Blood Rage, Blood Flame, and First Embrace. It's the Baron of the Blood Race, also corrupted by otherworldly aura, and has fallen into a state of great power and magic. Lin Lu's then attacked the boss with his skin explosion. The boss's blood splattered, and it was eliminated instantly. Lin Lu's was shocked that it died instantly. He landed on the stage, wondering why the boss instantly died from his hands. Then he noticed something: the boss's blood gathered into one and reformed back into a body. Because of this, Lin Lu's concluded that normal methods wouldn't kill the boss. The boss suddenly screamed, creating a strong blow of wind that made Lin Lu's slide away and fall from the stage. Below, the monsters were waiting for him to land. He panicked, knowing he was now in danger. He then remembered his adrenaline skill and immediately used it. He kicked the monsters one by one at such a fast speed that he couldn't even control himself because of the adrenaline rush. His entire body felt full of energy. The boss suddenly summoned 2 shadows. These were called Blood Shadows, a clone skill that allowed the user to create 2 Blood Shadow clones, each of which had half the strength of the original body. Both shadows charged at Lin Lu's, but Lin Lu's was too fast, managing to slash both of the shadows and charge straight at the boss. The boss activated his blood flames. He was chuckling in confidence, but he ended up being shocked the moment he saw Lin Lu's resist his blood flame, since Lin Lu's had activated his resistance shield. "Are you done? Then it's my turn to attack," Lin Lu's uttered. He stomped the ground strongly and charged at the boss with his still activated adrenaline rush. He circled the boss, and the boss was furious about not finding him. Lin Lu's then attacked the boss with a skin explosion several times, and even though the boss's body exploded, it still got back to its original form. The boss summoned 2 shadows again, and the shadows instantly rushed at Lin Lu's. Lin Lu's believed that the boss seemed to be invincible, and as long as there was blood, the boss could still recover. He then jumped upward as he knew that shadow monsters were heading toward him. He deduced that the bodies of the shadows were also made of blood, so he decided to try a new skill. He attacked the shadows with his owl spread, and numerous crosses appeared. They struck the shadows' bodies and they screamed in agony. It worked, and it worked like a charm. "Are vampires afraid of owls?" Lin Lu's uttered. Then, after a few seconds, he realized it wasn't the owls, it was just the blood clotting symptom that came with it. Although they were immortal, their bodies were made of blood. At this moment, the boss charged at him. He then used the same skill, but the boss dodged it. Still, the boss's arm was stabbed by Lin Louisiana's Sao ability, and shockingly, the boss cut his own arm to stop the blood clot from spreading. Looks like the boss is smart, but I wonder how many of your body parts you can cut, Lin Luz said, and attacked the boss once more using the same skill. This time, the boss was caught and harmed severely, causing him to moan in pain. If I try to kill you now, you'll only turn yourself into blood and revive yourself. I'm afraid there's nothing anyone can do about it. But it just so happens I also have a specific blood skill. I wonder if you'd be able to remain immortal if your blood got burned out, Lin Luz said. He then attacked the boss using his blood fever skill combined with pain intensification. The boss then exploded. Finally, Lin Luz eliminated the Fallen Baron and gained 158,000 experience points. He also leveled up to level 40, with 4 attribute values increased by 1. He gained 4 free attribute points, 10 skill points, and 1 gold skill point. Lin Luz was panting since the side effects of the adrenaline rush were really intense, despite the fact that it gave him pretty good close combat capabilities. Since Lin Luz still had some time left, he decided to check the items he got. First of all, the gold skill point is very precious, as it is needed to complete special quests, job transfer quests, and kill powerful bosses to have a chance to get it. Generally, the maximum skill level can only be raised to level 7, and to break through this limit, gold skill points must be used. Skills upgraded with gold skill points can gain additional special effects. In the battle with the Fallen Baron, the antibody shield saved Lin Louisiana's life. Survival and tolerance are the most important things, according to Lin Luz. He then decided to upgrade the penicillin phage antibody shield. It consumed 7 skill points to upgrade it to level 7. He also consumed 1 gold skill point to upgrade it to level 8 and activated the skill's special effects. All of a sudden, something appeared, creating a sharp sound. It turned out to be the special effect of penicillin, which is called the penicillin elf, derived from the skill. It has self-awareness, can enhance all effects of the penicillin phage antibody shield, can learn the mutation skills of its master, and will be his most loyal companion. Lin Luz was satisfied with this. Aside from enhancing the shield's effects, it can also learn his mutation skills, making it a simply powerful assistant. He was curious about the differences between the skills it uses and his own. Since it would be his pet from now on, he decided to name it Little Green. He also planned to study it later. About the items, he got a vampire's core, which is made from the life force and magic of a vampire and acts as a substitute for a vampire's heart. If the core is not destroyed, the vampire will never die. There is also a vampire's essence, a bloodline transformation prop. After use, it can transform a professional's physique into a half-vampire. Agility and mental strength will permanently increase by 10, and agility and mental attributes will permanently increase by 2 every time the user levels up. Additionally, the user can learn blood magic, but resistance to sunlight, fire, lightning, and many more will be permanently reduced by 100. The vampire's core is the heart of a vampire and can be used to complete the job change mission. As for the essence, it is even rarer than gold skill points. In this world, all professions can become half-human, half-alien creatures through the use of bloodlines, gaining extra attributes. Lin Luz can also learn extra alien skills and change to special alien professions to greatly enhance his overall strength. There are elves, dwarves, half-orcs, and many others. Half-bloods are very rare. However, the weaknesses of vampires are too obvious, so Lin Luz believes it may not be suitable, but he decided to keep it for now. Lin Luz obtained the first Embrace skill book. He acquired the gold-level blood wings and special rings that would give him an additional 30 agility, 60 spirit, 10% damage absorption, 10% spell penetration, and a passive flight skill. This forms blood wings on the back of the body, allowing Lin Luz to fly freely. He also obtained the gold-level Eye of a Vampire, a ring that would give Lin Luz an additional 5 strength, 5 physique, 10 agility, 50 spirit, 50% damage absorption, and 50% spell penetration. Lin Luz was satisfied with both items, knowing that they would add a total of 60% to damage absorption and spell penetration. He was also glad about the first Embrace skill, as it looks very powerful, but it's a pity that this can only be learned by vampires. Lin Luz doesn't meet the conditions and it's not worth changing his physique for. The user can input his own blood into the target through fangs, transforming the target into a vampire blood servant or blood slave and controlling the life and death of the target. After use, the user's attributes will permanently decrease by 1% to 10%. Lin Louisiana's finger slipped, so he unintentionally clicked the Learn button. He thought he wouldn't be able to learn it since he didn't meet the requirements. However, the system window buzzed and informed him that he had learned level 1 T-virus infection. Of course, Lin Luz was shocked and concluded that his ability to mutate skills could now mutate any skill without any professional limitations. He also deduced that the T-virus might be from the movie he saw in his previous life. This skill enhances the genetic properties of organisms by reorganizing their genes, mutating them into unconscious, slow-moving zombies that survive by devouring the flesh and blood of organisms, and turning those infected with the T-virus into zombies. It is a terrible virus that can destroy the world and turn countless humans into zombies. What's even scarier is that this world, unlike Lin Louisiana's previous one, is full of professionals and monsters. If professionals or monsters turned into zombies, Lin Luz couldn't even imagine the intensity and consequences. After all, the skill introduction only talks about infection, not the ability to control infected bodies. For Lin Lu's, this skill is too scary unless he finds a way to fight or control the T-virus. For now, he decided to avoid using it. At this time, 5 minutes were still left, so Lin Lu's decided to hand over the job transfer mission. He then possessed it, and the Silver Heart was finally completed. He officially changed his profession to the only hidden profession, the Evil Doctor. Lin Lu's then received a reward of 10 skill points and 1 gold skill point. Lin Lu's mastered the only skill, non-responsible surgery, and obtained the only professional equipment, the no responsible scalpel. Priest, male nurse, from now on, I am an evil Dr. Lin Lu's proudly uttered. His job is the most evil and unprofessional doctor in history. Now, life is just a plaything in his hands, and it's up to him how he wants to deal with it. Outside the tower, people were waiting for him to exit. Some thought that he was trapped since only minutes were left before the exam ended, and he still hadn't shown up. Everyone, there are only 2 minutes left before the end of the exam. I can't believe that the top student in Benhai City's high school exams would go to a D-class priest. This also proves that there are no weak professions, only weak people, said the lady streamer. Hardship and among the best? Are they talking about Brother Lu? I've never seen him study seriously, Tang Cheng said. After all, he's the top student now. They flatter him a little, Yi Ning replied. Right now, one of the lords was standing in front of the tower, and his subordinate reported to him that the investigation revealed that Lin Louisiana's father died early and his mother was a navigator without any background. The lord then said that they must find a way to recruit Lin Lu's, no matter the cost. He knew that the other lords would surely fight over Lin Lu's, so he wanted to make the first contact. At the same time, the deputy city guard was also at his quarters, staring at the tower. His subordinate informed him that at least 7 families were secretly plotting against Lin Lu's at the present time, and also a large number of candidates were infected with the Black Death. They also wanted to target Lin Lu's. The old man then said that those families are nothing to worry about, as it's not uncommon for them to try to recruit geniuses. As for the candidates who were infected, he knew that those people were just making a fuss. For him, only through trials and tribulations will they be able to start their journey. His subordinate then said there is one more thing, there are some fallen. The old man was shocked upon hearing this. He thought that the top geniuses, such as Dong Fong, are all from big families and are protected by strong people, so he believes they have nothing to worry about. However, Lin Lu's is just an ordinary boy who stands out from the crowd, and the consequences of his being targeted by the fallen are unimaginable. He then commanded his subordinate to mobilize 2 of the guardians to protect Lin Lu's. The time ended, and Lin Lu's finally exited the tower. He landed on the ground, and Bing Bing declared that Lin Lu's was the first winner of this team trial. People were mocking Lin Lu's, blaming him for their failures, and rushed toward him to beat him up. But then Yi Ning ran first and hugged Lin Lu's in front of everyone. Not only that, but she also did that thing, which surprised Lin Lu's. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you wish to have another part of this recap, comment below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Until next time.